Broadcasting live from somewhere in the great upper Midwest and beaming directly to you worldwide. This is Night Talks Radio. Streaming to you live from Spreaker.com and somewhere deep in the great upper Midwest. If you're ready for a ride, you can call NTR anytime by dialing the nationwide caller line at 1-507-384-9390. First-time callers can reach Night Talks Radio at 1-507-307-4424. Text Daniel and NTR exclusively at 1-218-689-7126. Now, from somewhere in the great upper Midwest, here's your hosts, Daniel Brewer and Jennifer Gregerson. I'm talking whiskey, beer, and a tailgate full of sand. And a tailgate full of sand. If you can't get enough, want all the love, let's roast them up. And if you're getting high, throw your hands up in the air. Life in the country can't get better than this. We got Sunday night in the great upper Midwest. I am Daniel Brewer. Alongside me, as always, is the wonderful... Who are you?
Jennifer Gregerson.
Never heard of you. No. We got a great show tonight for you, folks. Sorry for the delay, but it is 11:11.
Wow, yeah.
In the Central Time Zone.
So
make a wish. Make a wish right now. And wish for a great show, because that is what we have coming up. Can you explain to our guests, well, our listeners, yes, fans, our devoted fans, hello to India, by the way.
Yes, hi, India.
My goodness. Jakarta. Also, Jakarta. Yeah. All over the world.
Yes.
All over the world.
Listening to us all over the world. And local as well. A lot of our local listeners.
Love our local listeners.
Yes, we do.
Red Lake Falls, Thief River Falls, Bagley, yep, Foston, all kinds of stuff. So, but explain what the show is going to be all about tonight, because we went back and forth about the show today, literally starting this afternoon, on who was going to be a part of the show and what the show was going to be about. What is the show going to be about, and who is going to be on the program? Go, Jennifer.
All right, so the special guest is Travis Dwayne Guy. He's a normal worker, but he is also a theological researcher from Tennessee. At the age of 33, he was awoken by 3 dreams that changed his life and world forever. Since then, Travis has come up with an alphabetical number system that
number system?
Yes.
Okay.
That not only shows his true lineage,
You're fired.
how he may be part of Jesus or even a full embodiment of Jesus Christ.
A part of Jesus. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Where, like, Jesus may be a part of him. He may be a part of Jesus. They're all connected.
Okay.
He's
Hey,
got a
I'm not.
strong
You know what?
connection, is what he
I
thinks.
am not here to judge. I'm here to pass it on.
Yes.
So continue.
So Travis Dwayne Guy will also discuss why he believes the Twin Towers attack actually happened among other national securities.
I
he
got
has
some ideas.
discovered. So here's another interesting thing that he's going to talk about is there is some hidden pictures in the back of the Bible. So you may want to grab your Bible for this, a pen and paper, and listen to this astonishing information. It may just get you thinking twice about the world today.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, this sounds pretty intriguing. I know there were some people that were actually looking for his name and what he does. You're not going to find it.
No.
You're not going to find it. This is the first time he has been on radio, correct?
Yes, this is the very first time he has been on radio. This is the very first time that he has shared. He's trying to share with the public and everyone out there what's going on. He's even actually tried to contact NASA. He sent a letter to him and everything, but nothing in response.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think we need to probably get right to it then. We're going to take a short break. When we return, we are going to have Travis Guy with us to tell his story, and we'll also have special guest co-host James Harp from Cosmic Horizons. We'll be right back.
Want to reach Night Talks Radio? That's easy. Simply dial 1-507-384-9390. Or, for first-time callers, just dial 1-507-307-4424. From somewhere in the great upper Midwest, here's Daniel Brewer and Jennifer Gregerson.
Everyone says that I should get going, start running, but how am I supposed to run when I'm falling?
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. We're going to have a good one tonight on Night Talks Radio. Me and Jennifer Gregerson. Jennifer, say hello.
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a wonderful evening.
Oh, I'm sure they are because they're listening to Night Talks Radio.
Oh, yes.
So, without further ado, we would like to get Travis Guy
Correct.
on the radio. So let's do that right now. Travis, are you there?
I am, yes, sir.
Travis, welcome to Night Talks Radio. How have you been doing, sir?
It's good to be here. I'm fine. And yourself?
You know what? I'm not doing too bad, besides the headache that my in-home studio gives me on a daily basis from hour to hour. But you know what? I end up making it and pushing through every day.
Yes,
So
we do.
I'm still here.
I guess
Yes.
we're all at the mercy of our machine.
That's
Yeah.
right. Exactly.
Say, Travis, before we go ahead and start, I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions. First of all, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
real quick, Travis, real
Go
quick,
ahead.
before you start, I want to also introduce, we do have a special guest co-host with us tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
How dare you
I'm so
forget
sorry.
about
I'm
him?
so sorry.
His name is James Harp. He is from the Cosmic Horizons podcast.
This is the first time we've
out
done
of Ontario.
this, actually. So, I mean, that's
well,
probably
it
why I
is.
did forget because
We-
I'm not used to doing it like
We
this.
have never had a guest co-host. So.
Welcome, James Harp.
I
James.
love anybody from Cosmic, too.
That's right. James, are you there?
Yes, I am here. It's great to be on your show finally at this late.
I know, yeah, I know. It's a late owl, but late owl. It's a late hour, but we're all late owls here. So,
Yes, we are.
but I've been on your show plenty of times, and this is the first time that you've been on our show. So it's kind of a milestone moment, I suppose.
So, just one moment here, Travis. James, can you tell us a little bit about yourself in case people don't know about your podcast?
Yeah, just real quick.
I'm living here in Tennessee. I'm 36. I'm doing an investigation of the all-around creation of your
You hold
conscience.
on,
and,
James. Go ahead, Travis.
I live in Hamilton, Tennessee, anyway. But I'm 36, and I have a girlfriend that's been together 16 years. We have no kids, but I love her to death. And I'm doing a project. It's 3 years ongoing now.
Wow.
Okay.
That's very interesting.
James, can you tell us really quick, for the people that don't know who you are, just in case, what you do, really quickly?
Well, I have my own internet radio show called Cosmic Horizons, and we deal in so-called conspiracies, cover-ups, and other media that's not covered by mainstream media. We get a little bit behind the curtains. I would say the curtains of deceit from a lot of these media stations talk about, and we try to let the listeners judge for themselves what is real and what is not real.
Exactly. Yeah. We're so the same.
Yeah,
We literally have the same type of shows. You're a great guy. I love being on your show, and welcome to Night Talks Radio for the very first time. Okay, Travis, back to you. Jennifer, I know that you had some things you wanted to say. Go ahead.
Yes, Travis. So I was just going to ask you, before we go ahead and start, have you had anything abnormal happen to you when you were a child?
Not so much as far as aliens or anything, but I actually had a visual that happened to me when I was a child. My closet door would open and close. And it's not something that's real, scary, but it's something that initially started all this for me.
Okay, and then from then on, you had more things happening to you, and that's why you came up with this, essentially, code system.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When I was 33 years old, I had a hand holding me feeling, and it felt like it was Christ. Absolutely. And so I started investigating myself, investigating my spirit, investigating the things that it was, it evolved in. And
Okay.
It's turned into a huge project now, over 2,000 pages, and it's really got me opening my eyes to all sorts of everything involved and everybody that could be involved. It has really opened my eyes to, being a better person, honestly. It tried to get me to have my girlfriend be a better person, and it's got us in a better path.
Understandable.
Wow,
Understandable.
That's very interesting. Can you tell us a little bit what happened to you when you were 33?
Yeah, I was laying on my couch. My mom had passed away.
Oh,
I was
I'm
reading my
sorry.
Bible, and I actually had a huge hand holding me feeling. It actually gripped me around my body and put me in a fetal position. Some would call this being reborn or an awakening.
Okay.
And I ran into my bedroom. I told my girlfriend about it, woke her up. I was crying, and I ain't never had a feeling the same again. No drug could replace it. No, nothing could replace it. It was the best feeling in the world.
Wow. And now you had a series of 3 dreams that happened when you were 33 as well, correct?
Yes. And the first one was actually Jesus had brought my mom to me, and The second one was he was up on a hill on a mountain. He took my project and threw it in the ocean, almost like go get it. And I feel like he's still waiting there. And the third one, I was in heaven on a bench with him, with just a light figure. It didn't show me no faces or nothing, but it showed me a light figure. I ran from him, and ever since then, I've been detailing my dreams and everything I can to, find out what's going on inside myself. And it's leading. I don't know where it's leading yet, but it's leading. It's leading somewhere.
Do you think, Travis, that you've been essentially given a mission of some sort?
Oh, absolutely. Life's a mission, honestly, and we try to take our self-conscious and we try to be better people automatically, usually during life.
Absolutely.
We try to put our best foot forward. But most people, anyway, I should say. And it's got me to, make changes that I never would have made otherwise.
Right.
Understand.
Right. Now, did Jesus say anything particularly to you when you did speak to him?
Well, the third one, it was more like a light figure had said, "Don't worry, me and Jesus will be there." And when he said that, I was comforted. And when I woke up, I was a different person. Honestly, I was trying to, and something told me to keep track of everything. This wasn't a dream, but a voice had come to me when I was awake and said, "Keep track of everything. Just keep track of it all." And ever since then, I have.
Now, when you mention that you have encountered Jesus, now this is via your dreams?
The first one was initially a hand told me while I was wide awake.
Okay.
It actually was the initial blunt of it. And then the rest of them occurred in 3 dreams. He did ask me 3 questions at one point of them, and one of them was, "Will you witness?" One of them was, "Can you hold the Spirit?" And for the life of me, I can't remember what the third one was, but I'm sure in time when he's ready, it'll come back to me.
Right, absolutely. So were you able to, now in the dreams, were you able to see what Jesus looked like, or was it something more like a light or a presence?
It was more a mix between the two. The light was so bright that I couldn't really tell if it was just a face figure of a human or whatnot. I fully believe that, Jesus could have been an alien type figure also, because just in your conscience you have to investigate things and those things, and it
Right.
made me kind of believe that Jesus is the creator and God's the creator, and he's mixed in all of it, so he's going to be part of it all.
Absolutely. And one more question before, I know Jennifer has some questions for you, but now when these things were happening dream-wise and all that, did you feel frightened, scared, happy, excited, joyful? What was your emotional state?
Well, at the time I was depressed naturally. Before the dreams and everything, I was really depressed. I was crying every day. Like I said, my mom had just passed away. But each time I'd have a dream, it would boost me up a different level. It almost was like stepping stones that gave me baby steps to a better feeling. And each time it was a little bit more, and then he expected a little bit more of me, and he's still expecting a little bit more. And as I rise, it's almost like Jacob's ladder. I'm climbing the hill in order to reach my final destination. And I couldn't be happier right now as far as the where this study has taken me.
Almost like he kind of baptized you or blessed you all over again.
I'm sorry?
It was almost like he baptized you or blessed you all over again then, right?
Oh, absolutely. I was actually baptized to the Church of Christ not long ago in Lafayette, Georgia. And when you get baptized to him, you get baptized in the body. And I absolutely feel like I'm in his body at times. And it feels like every time I have a dream or have a feeling of him, it's a new feeling every time. And each time it gets a little more intense. And I feel like I have a knowledge bind. I get a little bit more information about myself, about Jesus, about things. But I actually believe that all things could be true. Evolution, God, the Big Bang, all of it.
Yes,
Well,
in a conscious investigation, you kind of have to investigate it all.
Right.
There's 2 questions I want to mention here. First off, I got to say this.
Okay, Daniel.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. I want to say one thing. I don't know if you know Joel Osteen. Do you know who he is?
I'm not sure. It's possible. It sounds familiar.
Joel Osteen, he's a pastor,
Yes.
correct, at Lakewood Church out of Houston?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to make mention, and I'm sure some people on the audience, our listeners and fans and such, around the country.
We listen all the time.
Well, yeah. He's actually on Sirius XM. He has his own channel, but you sound exactly like him. I wanted to say that.
Oh.
So when it doesn't he? So when you get the opportunity, look up Joel Osteen and listen to him, and you will be like, "That's me."
Wow.
So, but
I
anyway,
will do, absolutely. Will
honestly,
do.
and you'll probably love him too. Actually, he just great. We listen to him every night.
It's
But
very
go ahead.
interesting that
Oh,
you
yeah,
do
that's
bring up
how I
a
spend a lot of my
preacher
time.
or a priest, like Joel Osteen, and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. Because Travis actually did tell me a little story about a pastor or preacher that he was actually listening to on the TV and what happened to him.
Really? Well, why
you
don't
explain
you
that?
explain that story, Travis?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was feeling like I was about to have spirit come out of me. I felt like I was about to, my spirit was about to show. I felt like it was about to happen. And I don't know if the preacher felt me at the time or if I felt him. But too, we connected somehow. And he let me know that he was going to let me know who I was, and that he felt me. And when he told me that he, kind of felt me, he said he was going to take my screen and he was going to fog it. He was going to make it blurry for me to let me know he felt me.
Wow.
And my phone, absolutely, when he said that, my phone blurred. And at that point, I was convinced,
Wow. And did anything happen the next day with your phone?
Well, that night, I actually had a Holy Spirit come out of me. I actually, you could tell a difference in me. You could tell a difference in change. But my phone that next night, no, it's not as far as it goes. But just that preacher that I forget his name, and I wish I could remember it now. But he was one of the main starting points of why I started doing the, investigating the Jesus in me or the God in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did
The
the
God leading me, I
text
should
say?
say.
What did the text messages? Is that what you said?
Yeah. What did the
yeah.
text say?
What did they say exactly?
I'm sorry, the text messages.
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, I didn't get no text messages.
Oh.
Yeah, the text messages was actually, I don't know if I had maybe misunderstood or maybe put that down wrong, but the text messages, I didn't really have no text messages. I actually did with the phone. That was the actually only point in time that it actually had affected my phone, but I've actually got pictures now of spirits connected to me and things that I've got a bunch of.
Yeah,
So
I believe you sent
about
some to
the text
Jennifer.
messages.
As a matter of fact, I think I saw some of them.
Okay. So so what you just basically had is you had the feeling come through your mind about the pastor reaching out to you, and didn't he say something that you had like a purpose, you had a vision, something like that?
Yeah, he actually, it felt like he said, I feel like you need for me to let you know who I am. And as far as, I can connect with you. He said, God's telling me to connect with you right now, and I'm going to go ahead and let you know that. He feels like, I feel like you don't know, and this is the only way you're going to know, is if I make the screen blurry. When he did that, I don't know if it happened all over the world to many people, but it happened to me, and
Wow.
that's all I needed.
That's just
fascinating. Wow.
that is absolutely fascinating stuff. Real quick, because I feel kind of bad here. James, are you still around?
Yes, I'm listening to the whole interesting.
There he is. Okay, if you got any questions, you can chime in anytime you want. Just to let you know, don't let me cut you off or anything. But
Can I ask Joel, or can I ask him one, James?
his name is James Harp. That's
James,
right.
yes.
Yep. Cosmic
James,
Horizons.
What is your aspect of Jesus in the cosmos? As far as, do you think he was maybe a part of something other than man, but alien?
Well, I believe everybody has their own version of religion. Everybody has their own version of Jesus, and in different religions looks at Jesus in a different way and perceives him, as a different figure. So it's really, I guess, up to the individual and their beliefs in what Jesus looks like and what Jesus is all about. I believe in, it's kind of a tough subject to talk about with all the religions now and how they see gods or goddess in different religions.
Religion, I mean, yeah, James, you're absolutely right. I mean, religion is a rough topic. It always has been.
Right.
But you know what? If people don't talk about it, then there's a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has to be talked about. If things are happening to you that you believe to be spiritual or religious and things of that nature, let it out. Get it out.
Exactly.
People need to know.
Yep.
It's the same.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing that I make mention to other guests and other shows that we do. For instance, involving, let's say, UAPs or UFOs.
Right.
These people literally hide. They don't come out in public. They don't discuss what they've seen or what they're going through, and they become recluse and literally just stop living.
Yeah.
Okay, because they're so
Oh,
afraid.
yeah, absolutely.
Exactly, Travis. They're so afraid of what they're going to be looked as, looked as upon. So I tell them, you come forth with this.
Yeah.
The more and more people that come out, the easier it's going to get.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Travis, in your case, being on radio here for the first time and things of that nature, and talking to our listeners and fans and such, you could be helping.
A lot of people.
I mean, literally thousands upon thousands of people right now
Yep.
by giving them the confidence to do what you're doing
Yep.
at this moment.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm so
And I think
excited.
if Jesus, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that's why I'm so excited to have you on the broadcast
Yes.
exclusively.
And if I think if Jesus, if it was a true story to people, I think they can't wait to get it out there and get it out to people. I don't think that being ashamed of it's going to bother you. I don't think that nothing is going to make you shy of it. I don't think nothing's going to hold you back. If it's a true Jesus embodiment and things like that, you're going to want to get out there, and you're going to want to get out there as soon as you can and let people know about it.
Yes.
And it's absolutely, it's a different and it's a changeable thing. And I think that people can believe in many different ways as far as they can have all beliefs at one time, because common sense tells us we do evolve daily. I don't know what the problem is with the evolution and the religion. The battle is because we do evolve and religion does exist. So I don't know why they're fighting so bad as far as religion. And you can have a belief about all things, and that's a mustard seed belief. You have a little belief about all things, and I think you'll be set.
Yep.
Right, exactly. And one more last thing here, Jennifer, before you want to, I know you have some questions still, but it's like I said to the other guests and whatnot, is the same thing too. Is that there's no point in arguing about it or saying that you're wrong or incorrect or blah blah blah, because in the end it truly is all the same thing.
Yep.
Absolutely. No one has the answer. There's nobody has say gone to the other side perhaps, or walked through that portal, or went to that dimension perhaps, this and that. Nobody could really tell you, but to believe, you have to believe into something. You have to have faith, regardless. And if that is what you believe in, that's what you believe in. And we have people on the show to get on what they have to say.
Right.
We don't judge. We do not judge whatsoever.
And we're not telling you that this is the way it has to be, neither.
Exactly.
Anyone who's listening,
right.
We're not telling you have to believe in this way, and that is it. That's the end all be all.
But we're
just giving you options.
Exactly. What we're offering here is another point of view that may enlighten you.
Yep.
Travis may
absolutely.
he may be doing that as we speak.
Yeah.
I absolutely think that if these religions and things, they would just open their mind and let it be known that I have an open mind to other religions and other things like that. I think they would get along a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of religions are very strict. They're very adamant about their beliefs, the way they have to be, the way they have to dress, eat, what they have to do. And I think if you just have an open mind and take it individualized, you have to study yourself, and Jesus is in you. So if that's the way you feel, that's great. That's awesome, And if somebody else don't feel that way, you say that's awesome as well.
Right, exactly. You just go with the flow. You just go with the flow and you listen. The thing I've learned in life is that be a good listener. Be a good listener because you can. I like to gain knowledge. I'm like a sponge. So I gather I gather all this information, and I come up with my own theories and things like that. So hearing what you have to say that's going to enlighten me, and I have more knowledge towards my ultimate goal, which is trying to figure this whole thing out.
Absolutely. You guys do a great job as well to get the just awareness out there for it.
I appreciate that, and that's what we're here. Like I said, that's what we're here for. We want the audience to be able to make up their own minds on this. We are conveyors of what you, for example, are saying and talking about. We want to get it out there because it is intriguing, it is interesting, and we want people to know about it. So,
and once I actually got the faith part out there and got the Jesus solid in my body, and solid in me, and that foundation set, I was able to move on to the next thing as far as space or evolution, and I study those, slowly, but study those. And if you apply those things at a foundation, but build your house, as far as a house is just like you're gonna have to maintain it. You're gonna have to buy new things for it. So that's just like your faith. It's just like your beliefs. You're gonna have to buy new things for it. You're gonna change over time too. You're gonna drop beliefs. You're gonna add beliefs, and it's a lifelong battle as far as just all your beliefs all around.
Oh, it truly is, and you couldn't have put it any better. Yeah, it is just like a house. You buy new things, you have to get new things. Things change, beliefs change, and this and that. You grow older, and blah blah blah. Yeah, I mean, I totally, I completely and utterly know where you're coming from. Now, I don't want to skip too far ahead here, but you had made mention that you also know things that are to take place in the future. Is that what I had gathered?
In a way, yes.
Could
if
you
I had
explain that?
a mainframe that I could run a computer scenario, I would be able to pinpoint it. Right now, I'm just using my mind. I'm not using the internet too much. I'm not using the TV too much. I'm trying to see what I can gain through knowledge, through my roar and my communication with the Lord. Sometimes I think a little bit too much technology is a little bad. But
you're right about that.
Where I think I can actually be able to pinpoint the future.
Now, okay, well, then the next obvious question is, how do you go about doing that? If you can explain.
It starts with emotions and instincts. You're gonna, and it has to have as far as a foundational line. If you take every aspect of your life, if you put every aspect of whatever is going to be possible in your life that's coming up in the future, whether it be whatever. Take all the things that you could possibly do. You feed them into the program, but you also leave chance for random chance divine. Okay, you leave chance for anything that could possibly happen as far as random chance.
Correct.
And if you say tomorrow, I was going to say I'm going to do these things tomorrow. And if I sit down and I say tomorrow I'm going to go to the picnic, and I get up tomorrow and I go to a picnic, and that actually is me telling the future, but I told it in the past. It isn't the future telling until you get that next day accomplished. Good planning and good foundational planning is a good way to tell the future, but you ain't able to tell it until you get there. And then, say yesterday, I was able to tell the past or tell the future.
Right. Is it? For me, it's like you say, you gather knowledge and this and that, and you kind of have an instinct for it. I do have those moments occasionally. Probably not as profound as you, but I can kind of make sense of where you're coming from. Jennifer, I mean, for instance, that I'll say, well, by seeing something on television, not mainstream media necessarily, but what I'm saying is I might read something or see something and say, well, it's pretty obvious that that's going to take place, or this is going to take place.
Or a person. If you see a person, you might have an instinct right away that person is not a good person.
Right, and I'm going to, folks that know me out there, I'm going to attempt to keep politics out of this show. I mean, it's really going to be hard, but I'm going to try to do it. So I don't listen to say the left and this and that and miss information at all. I do the old-fashioned way. I open a book and I research for myself and figure out the information that way. Go ahead, Jennifer. I'm sorry.
No, that's
I can
all
go
right.
on rants forever.
Yeah,
by the
you
way,
can. That's true.
this show might turn into a 10-hour show. I don't know.
You have to go on to you have to listen to our NTR Daily one time, Travis, and you'll know exactly how he goes on rants.
I can. Let's just say that being a radio host was meant to be
Yes.
for me.
Yes. So
Incomplete.
Yeah. It like Jerry Maguire back in 1996. You complete me. I mean, you really do. Radio, this microphone, and all that stuff. So there you
And
go.
who's coming with me?
Who's coming with me? Who's coming? I was. You know what? I worked at the movie theaters. That was one of the first movies that came out when Travis, real quick, I wanted to run my own movie theater chain at one point. I worked at the movie theaters a lot, and that movie was one of the very first movies that came out when I started working at the movie theater. How about that?
yes.
So there you go. Now you know something about me.
Now, Travis, did you speak to the audience and Daniel about your theory about talking to yourself and answering yourself?
No, I didn't mention that yet.
Okay, I take off speakerphone. I'm sorry.
About
But-
about answering yourself and talking to yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Me, I do a lot of talking to myself, and I've actually been doing a lot of alphabetical talking to myself and abbreviation working. I've been trying to come up with my own abbreviations and things, and it happens with everyday life too. I talk to myself a lot. A lot of people say it's bad to answer yourself, but I absolutely think that it's good to answer yourself. It can lead you down the right road sometimes. It can put you on a different path sometimes. And sometimes it is that conscience when you answer yourself that's telling you whether to do right or wrong.
Right.
Now, the forceful voice signature in your brain, sometimes it comes in on its own as far as your conscience. And sometimes you have to answer yourself on your own just to be able to make a right choice.
Mm-hmm.
Your conscience sometimes automatically wants you to make your own decisions as far as just, leaving it out. But I absolutely think that answering yourself is okay. If it gets too bad sometimes, I think it can get a little rough. But
Yeah.
when you put it in like a alphabetical abbreviation type thing, and you make it fun, and you make it kind of, interesting for yourself, I think it goes a long way.
Okay, yeah, that's very interesting. So you also believe that it's God coming through your consciousness when you answer yourself. Is that correct?
Absolutely. When you hear a voice from wherever you say it's going to be or whoever you say it is,
Mm-hmm.
when your conscience makes a good decision for you, but sometimes you wanted to make the bad decision, you wanted to be naughty, but the conscience makes a good decision for you. That's God coming through in my eyes. That's that godly image in you. As long as you're working and trying to live the faith and trying to be at one with God.
Okay. So what is your theory on, let's say, the Big Bang or consciousness in general?
Oh, there we go.
Well, the Big Bang, I absolutely think that there is something that happened. What we call things nowadays as far as who gets to name what, I don't know if I would call it the Big Bang or not, but I think I kind of can contact, the first person that's going to be able to get alien contact, it's going to be in our microbial DNA. You're going to be able to get contact with yourself as far as in the mind frame system and your microbes. Everybody looks for alien contact in space, but I absolutely think it's inside us, it's in our DNA. And it's in, because God, He's godly when He's in you. I'm not saying I'm God, and I'm not saying that nobody's God, but when you have Him in you, you're a godly person.
Mm-hmm. So,
and you have to investigate these things sort of in order to investigate your conscience. And, the right and wrong decision is what's going to tell you whether or not you're on a path or not.
Right. So I understand that you are coming on today, even though you have actually had some threats about what you're doing. Is that correct?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Can you explain to us some of the threats?
Had some what? I'm sorry.
You had before you came on. Did you had mentioned that you were receiving threats?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
I don't know who or how these things are getting out to people. Maybe I have a neurological connection to others somehow. But I was renting a place from this lady in the town I was living in, and after 12 days being there, it just really seemed weird and awkward because 12 apostles and a lot of things to do with 12.
Right.
After 12 days I was there, she actually came and told us we needed to get out of Tennessee, that we needed to just go ahead and move out and get on out of the town. And it's kind of making me think I'm on the right path when people do things like that.
Really?
Wow. And now right before the show, you actually got an email, did you or did you not?
Yes, and these emails sometimes these emails are real threatening, and sometimes they're not, But it is people that kind of let me know that they know about, as far as if they're feeling me or feeling my spirit or feeling my, my soul, And they're letting me know, but they're letting me know in kind of discreet ways.
So how do these people? Okay, are these people that you actually know, like maybe you knew from the past, or are these just random people?
Just random people. That on LinkedIn not long ago, I actually was talking to a lady, and she ended up at the end of our conversation. She said, "Well, that's because you have the vision."
Wow.
And I thought to myself, I was like, "Wow, thank you."
Yeah, right. How do you explain that one? Well, thank you. So random people contact you telling you these things. Do they now? They tend to be negative, though. Is what you're saying when they?
And it don't happen very often, but when they are, they don't tend to be negative. They just tend to let me know that they know as far as something going on, conspiracy, whatnot, whatever it may be. But I know that I'm getting voice signatures. When I stop my voice inside my head, I'll actually can monitor and tell that another voice is continuing. I log that, and I do a degree of separation with it, and the time I put everything down that I can about it, and I can actually tell another voice continues when I stop mine forcibly.
Wow. Yeah. Have you?
When I close my eyes,
go ahead.
And I force my eyes open, I can actually see my eyelids. Actually, it's like a blink within a blink. So I'm kind of left hemisphere and right hemisphere connected in a way. Mm-hmm. But when how you can close your eyes, but you can hold them open underneath your eyes.
Right.
Well, when I do that, I see blinks. I see blinks inside my eyes, and I'm not blinking them. I'm not trying to close them, but it's got me to let me know that it's either some kind of maybe tumor type view or a vine, a knowledge vine, or I really have contact with my conscious spirit.
Wow, that blows my mind. Real quick though, what do you tell these people? Do you respond to them? Do you tell them that please stop talking to me, or what? I mean, do you respond?
At times I do. It just depends on my mood. If I'm in a good mood that day, sometimes I'll tell them back. If they say something negative, I'll try to say something positive, to make their day better.
There you go. That's exactly what you need to do.
I try not to let things get to me until the right moment, until I have to let them get to me. But I try not to be too negative towards people.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Now, what is your thoughts on the COVID that came around?
Well, the COVID, I was actually laying in bed one night. My dad's name's David.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was trying to track down and find out what COVID was all about. And I did a David abbreviation. I turned David into a sentence. I actually tried to, if COVID had been Aurora put through us magnetically and put through us through our minds and filtered down in our bodies, I put a David code to it that said, destroy all viral infectious diseases. And I tried to maybe communicate with that cellular level in me to maybe get it out there in case it was a COVID type cosmic sick disease. So I'm trying to, any diseases or things I find or I have or that I feel like I have, I'm doing some kind of thing to defend it.
Okay. So you think like your energy field basically can defeat the COVID out of your body?
Yeah, I can actually see the energy field from my body. Like I can look at my hands and I can look at my face and my body, and I can see something protruding out. It's just a little layer of about an inch off your skin. It's like it's radiating all the time. You have a magnetic energy, and I actually have a few inventions where if everybody in the world connected to each other's energy levels, we could actually, block solar rays coming in at you and things to maybe save the future in a way. If our energies can deflect other energy.
Now, what? I don't know much of your belief about COVID. What the real meaning was behind it, and this and that.
I actually don't. I don't know the true meaning of it.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. And a lot of people probably don't. They don't have an exact answer about that. But go ahead, Jennifer. I know you had some questions there.
Oh, yes. So, for the government, what's going on in the government and stuff, have you through your system? Huh?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't interrupt. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Through the government, have you through your system actually maybe connected it with the Illuminati?
Oh.
I've actually texted them a few times. I've actually tried to get them to maybe make a neurological connection with me. I've tried to get their phone numbers, and I've tried to get these things, and I've texted them and emailed them. I've probably emailed and tried to get a hold of our government over 100 times to try to get them out here and classify the data that I have. And maybe it's some kind of sensitive classified data, and they won't talk to me, they won't come out and see me, they won't do nothing. And that's okay, absolutely, it's okay. But because I guess if they do that, it's them admitting some kind of recognition for it.
Yeah. Do you think that the government is part of the Illuminati then?
Well, of course, you're going to have, I think some of our presidents in the past have been Illuminati. Some of the senators and the government play Illuminati, but they just don't talk about these things out in the open. Sometimes the Illuminati look down on anymore nowadays. And there's a lot of different opinions of what the Illuminati stood for back then and what they stood for today.
Okay.
Go
ahead, Daniel.
Well, yeah, I wanted to go through the COVID thing. You had mentioned that you could figure things out on your own intuition, this and that about things that may or may not happen in the future. Did you see anything like that with COVID, and then after COVID, like say the shots that you needed to take and things like that and so forth?
I'm seeing kind of bounces, strategic bounces that if I say something or I feel a certain way, I see some kind of bounce that comes into my left hemisphere, and I'll see it connect. And then my right hemisphere is my dead eye. I have a lazy eye, so I take it as my bad side, and I take the left as my good side at times.
Okay.
So I'm trying to back out of myself at times just to get myself strong.
Understandable.
So when you have these visions that come through, do they basically kind of hit you out of nowhere, or does it make you feel sick, or do you feel strong?
Well, absolutely. I'm actually kind of pretty well at a medium top standpoint. I actually feel the spirits. I kind of feel these things. I'm a gifted medium, I guess I could say. I don't want to pull my own chain, but I feel like I'm a medium at times. But yeah, I think they get to be pretty strong, but it wears me out. It does. It takes my energy out of my body. It absolutely. I'm talking and trying to feel a spirit for 30 minutes. Sometimes it lays me in the bed the rest of the day. It just wears you out when you have a connected spirit to you, and you have to battle with that spirit, whether it's negative or positive.
So like you literally get drained, like energy drained.
Yes.
Wow.
So one other thing here is that do you believe in reincarnation?
That's a good question. That's about the only belief that is outside the box as far as it could be the only top belief in that area. I'm not got to the point in my study where I'm studying it yet. I think that it takes 3 to 5 years to do a good conscious study. So I'm not got to that point exactly. I'm kind of avoiding it because I'm thinking I might believe in it, might not. So it's to come.
Okay, so it's kind of still out there in a way.
Yeah, it's still up in the air at times.
Yeah. Daniel?
Yeah, what I was curious about is, and this will probably carry us into the second hour. We got about 8 minutes.
Yeah,
or so,
I think we'll talk about your system in the second hour.
Yeah, let's talk about that in the second hour. But you spoke of that with your intuition and this and that, and your ability to do what you do. You said you had seen a possible disaster headed our way. Is that true?
Yeah, I actually was given a bomb. I don't want to say bomb. We're not on a plane. No, we're not on a plane. I don't want to say bomb. But there was actually an international tie. I'm going to be an international tie that was connected to my brain. And I had a vision or dream one night that I was up on a top tier level and a bomb was thrown up toward me and a dark spirit grabbed it that was beside me. So I'm really concerned about that. I've tried to call and talk to our government because there's possibly a neuron fusion in my brain because I constantly hear beeps. And it's strategic beeps. It's like Morse code. And I don't want to get blamed for being a spy and whatnot, but I'm actually having those type dreams and visions. So it's kind of concerning me. That's why the main reason I wanted to come on and get it out there because our government wouldn't talk to me about it.
Surprisingly,
yeah.
What you just said there, Travis, that happens to quite a few people, and I noticed it of late. Even I have.
Well, maybe it's connected to the 5G. Maybe it's being turned on through 5G now that we're.
Well, I don't know necessarily about that, but
5G,
I think it would be more human intuition, instinct. 9/11, for example, the study that came out years after that, like I have told you, there an hour or two before 9/11 happened, there was an emotional shift in people where they all, for whatever reason, felt anxiety, sadness, stress, discomfort, and then 9/11 happened. Okay, but the previous...
And I think that's what has to lead is emotions. As far as everybody has them and everybody's got to deal with them. So I do think that's a big part of the study.
Right, exactly. So, I wonder how many people are possibly experiencing what Travis is experiencing as well.
Wow.
At this very moment.
Yeah,
and then,
I
of course,
guess.
what we talk about, with World War III and then things like that.
The only thing I have strange going on in my brain is that I have the paranormal and the ETs contacting me. So, I don't have any beeping or anything like that in my brain, but... you guys
are like the only ones. Man. I wish I could, have something to say about that, except I just have those funky dreams.
Right.
It could be for a million reasons, but... I will tell you they're disastrous.
Yeah.
Well, if there is anybody that's having these things, I give them a piece of advice. If you have emotions that come up at any point in time, don't try to choke them back. Try to let them flow. Just try. If you're in public, a lot of people try to hold it back or whatever. But you need to try to kind of let them flow and follow good instinctual decisions. It depends on who you're around, your friends, whoever. It depends on each situation for each emotion, each instinctive decision. So you really have to navigate those very well.
You really do. There's only a certain specific amount of people that I discuss that with. I even fight those issues of whether I should say things or not either.
Yeah.
But I know to push through it.
Honestly, what goes on with me and everything like that, I don't have a problem saying what's going on with me. I want people to, I want to get the word out there so people can understand that, this happens to me. It could very well be happening to them too, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. So obviously, it's like Daniel said, bringing more people forward to talk about it.
That's the whole point of Night Talks Radio. Like I told him, is that we got a different kind of attitude
Yes.
over here. You know what I mean?
We're
it's
totally different than any
it's
other
not.
radio.
Don't.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
Don't. We're not your average talk show. You know what I mean? Let's put it that way.
Who wants to be average anyway?
Yeah, who wants to be
Right.
average anywhere normal? That's just not cool nowadays. But you know, and to be honest, the stuff that we're talking about is actually pretty normal right now compared to
Yeah.
what's going on in the world today. So,
So,
you know,
so hopefully, Travis, this will bring us on to our break, and then we can talk a little bit more after that. But
yeah, we can fit in
What-
one or two more things before the break. coming
what
up against
is
break.
your idea about the end of the world? Do you think it is what they say in the Bible, or do you think it's going to happen a different way?
I don't really think it's going to be the Revelation and Tribulation. You got to look at it from the point of they were writing that when it was back in the day. Yeah, they were doing fishing, but also they got to look at it like, well, nowadays you have to apply that at a little different level. It's going to be a mental mind warfare game as far as God's going to come to you, and He's going to want to hear from you alone. He's not going to want to hear from nobody else. He's going to want to hear from you and what you do behind closed doors. He's going to want to hear what you think in your head and what you pray about and these things. So it's going to happen in your mind and your heart. Yeah, there's going to be physical things in the end. We're going to have food shortages, things like that. When if an asteroid hits or whatnot, that's to be determined. You know, nobody can. We're overdue for one now anyway, so we all have to prepare anyway. And I think if we ran a good e-tone, an end of time operational experiment, that to prepare for God and actually prepare and try to run an experiment based off the end of time, I think that we would do a lot better to prepare for it. Is if we ran a worldwide experiment.
Do you believe that things that are going to happen to the population, the global population, North America, whatever have you, do you think that it is known about by, first off, the government, and second off, do you think that when you have conversations or this and that with Jesus, God, that He would tell you about these things?
Well, he's going to tell you what He wants you to know individually. He's going to let you know what you need to get by for yourself. He's going to let you know what you need to help somebody else. He's going to put in people in your path that need help and that are individually connected to you. Now God's going to tell you to make a lot of decisions on your own. He's going to tell you, now I'm going to back out of the way. I'm going to see what you've learned. I want to see you fight for me. You know, he is like that, I believe. And if God was made a man's image, God actually would welcome challenges. He would absolutely welcome challenges because man's very, very competitive.
Right.
So I think that if man would kind of, put God in a statement to say, I want to challenge God because He's challenging me, because He's inside me. I want to challenge my belief. I want to challenge these things. And I'm going to believe evolution for a week and, challenge these things and see what God does for you and see what you can do for God as well. It's a relationship that you have to kind of let both ways swing. You know what I mean? You have to kind of hear God and then let Him have a break every now and then. I think that Jesus needs a break every now and then. People call Him a lot. They call Him way too much, and we're supposed to let people rest in peace. A lot of times, if you call Him Jesus too much and things in your life, He can't rest. He's a man, and He was a spirit. So I think we should do things on the Lord. Thank God and Jesus for the things He's done. But, sometimes just deal with it and do your own things as far as, get past it on your own just to show Jesus you can, and what He's made out of you, what He built inside you,
Right, absolutely. That is amazing.
Real quick, Travis, do you believe in coincidences?
Coincidences, they're kind of cultural feelings. They're kind of, sometimes I do. I guess I could say I do. Just a quick, short answer. I do believe in coincidences. But it depends on if the coincidences are self-indulged or self-induced. Like, I can go do something tomorrow, but I know I'm going to go do it a week from now. And then when you get there, it's going to be a coincidence. It kind of gives you that deja vu feeling.
Right, exactly.
So,
those coincidences that happen when you don't least expect it are the ones that I really want to try to study.
James, you were saying something?
Yeah, you mentioned coincidence with your guest, and that's what sort of falls in the line of deja vu, because many times that I have in my younger life dreamt of something, and about 2 years or a year later, I've been in the same place that I did dream about, same surroundings and everything. So I think you slip into a consciousness sometimes and go to another dimension, and that dimension is your other life. Because I believe in deja vu. Things happen. You dream of something, that you're at this farm or something somewhere, or seeing a bunch of people, and then lo and behold, 1 month, 2 months, maybe years later, you're at that same location, carrying on the same conversation with the people.
Now,
And that
Coincidence
is
and
very
deja vu
true.
fall in the same category.
Really quick, James, I was actually just discussing that not too long ago. There's new studies that came out since CERN was turned on. If you know what CERN is, the Hadron Collider. Since that was turned on, that of course, there's tons of people having the Mandela effect and having deja vu and things of that nature. And now we have top-of-the-line scientists out there from major universities and things of that nature that are saying that the death theory,
The dead theory,
the death or dead theory, look that up, actually holds some ground. It is the theory that when they turned CERN on to look for the God particle with the Hadron Collider, that we all died
in a black hole.
in 2012 in a black hole. And what we could be dead somewhere right now at this very moment. You could be in a hospital bed, dead. Time is a human construct. To us, if we're living, that would be like, okay, the brain goes on for about, 7 minutes, still has activity. But to you, it could be a lifetime. And they say what we're all living right now is what our brains are telling us what we think would be happening at this point.
Or
that,
memories.
that I'm making this all up in my head. That's why the Mandela effect is coming back, because you're having blips of what you remember in your real life because you're dead now. Extremely out there theory, but there's actually people joining on board that we all died in 2012.
Well, the opinion I have about that is if we did die in 2012, everybody would have had to die at the same time. Throughout 2012, if half of the population died at the beginning of 2012 and half the population died at the end of 2012, we're still going to have...
Well, what I was going to say is if we did all... The one thing they got right is if we did all die in 2012 because they turned on CERN for the God particle... it would obviously would turn into a black hole. No one would survive. Earth would be gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so nobody would survive. There would be nobody to tell the story. So that's one half of it. So there's nobody that could prove
That it
technically
happened,
that
right.
we're dead. So it's. I mean, I am not saying by any means that this is it. This is what I think is the thing. I just find it extremely interesting because. Since that year, the Mandela effect and deja vu has been drastically affecting people, and that is the thing that really gets me is that there's they also connect it to block universe theory, where there are multiple universes, where you yourself are doing every single possibility that you could ever be doing, that you could ever think of in different universes.
Scientists nowadays think that the space is, the dark matter it's expanding. A lot of scientists think that way and things, but I don't think it's expanding. I think it's getting thicker. It's actually getting like a more thick, small dark matter. And if we could do a study as far as get the thickness of the matter, because it's pushing out. Of course, we're moving away, and we're always moving, away from the initial Big Bang. But
Everything's separating.
So much. I think it's getting thicker.
Yeah. We're separating as it is now. Yeah, that's for sure. Wow. You got one more question before we hit break? Then I'm sorry, I went on a rant again.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So, Travis, do you believe that portals are opening up all over the world, and that's how, or that's why we're seeing more UAPs, and that's why we're seeing more cryptids and more spiritual things happening?
Well, maybe, yeah, probably. Because there's a lot of things that when I close my eyes, I can see. I see like a vortex type signature behind my eye. So there are portals, there are vortex like things. And if they're going to be out in space, they're absolutely going to be here on Earth. And we notice them in space anyway, so they're absolutely going to be here on Earth. Now, just how we navigate those things, it's really a long ways off before we kind of figure them out, I believe. But, yeah, I actually believe portals and pathways are real.
Yeah, I absolutely do too.
I do too.
That's something we
wonder
can
where
definitely
they're
talk
at,
about
you know.
in the second. Yeah,
Be
in the second half.
interesting to
But
go find one.
get me the heck
Daniel,
out
you
of
have
here.
a very interesting question about the collider, and
What's
the
that,
collider trying to find the God particle, and apparently when they did this, it opened up a whole bunch of portholes that they didn't know, and I believe they had to shut the collider down because of this portholes that was formed. And I think these portals, not good things happen. I think demons, it all depends what you believe in religious-wise. Demons and other people are coming through that porthole that was already created and since closed up.
And close back up.
Yeah,
Oh, go
I think
ahead.
it's more like a time lapse, and you see it with environmental noise now. The environmental noise is very strong sometimes. I can actually hear the environmental noise, the beeps, and the strategic things. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I agree with you.
Wow. Yeah. You know,
Very
and
interesting.
really quick, James. You know, it's that could be the reason why they tried it again. You know, even though under threat of you could create that black hole again. You know, maybe there's a purpose to all of this, minus what I was talking about. You just never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna get yelled at here if we don't go on break. So, guys, can you hang out for a few minutes here?
I'm absolutely can, yes, sir.
Okay,
okay,
just be as quiet as you can
Wait.
because it does come over on
look.
our microphones.
Wow, look at
you
we got
know.
Mom.
Oh, I'm not trying to be
You guys making noise upstairs. You keep that shit
That's
down.
what life's about right there. That's what life's about right there, family.
You gotta get that TV better be off. All right.
I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to.
No, it's fine. You know what? I have the. What's that, James?
So yeah, I have to hunker down in my bunker here in Toronto. So I'm gonna have to let you guys go.
No problem. I don't want to
Great on your show, and it's been great talking to Travis.
You too as well. Thank you very much. It's been good,
And
good talking to you.
maybe you could have Travis on your show sometime.
There you go.
Absolutely.
I would love it.
It's a little late in the evening for me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
We-
we'll go ahead and
Right.
send the information
We-
over to you.
Like I said, we're night owls, man. But yeah, I'll chirp to you, and maybe we can exchange information. We'll talk to Travis and all about that. But yeah, you got a great show, man, and you got to get me back on, huh? I miss it. I've been kind of sad. I've been sad lately, James. You got to get me back.
Thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure being on your show, and I hope to do it again.
Okay,
Yes.
no problem, man. Don't let those
We appre-
tornadoes get you, huh?
We appreciate you coming on, James. Thank you.
Okay. I'll sit in my basement with a big bottle of Jack Daniels, and I won't give a crap what goes on.
There you go. There you go. That's the way to look at everything. All right, have a good night, James. Of course, that was James Harp from the Canadian podcast out of Newmarket, Ontario. I do believe Cosmic Horizons podcast. You know what? I would tell you times that it's on, but I don't know.
You forgot.
It seems random. If it pops up, you get to hear a show. So
Random chance vibes, I'm telling you.
exactly.
random
It's like
chance
the
vibes.
roll of dice, man. You know, Cosmic Horizons or not. But yeah, okay. So we'll put you on a brief hold, and we'll get right back to you for hour number 2.
Yeah, please don't hang up.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't hang up, man. We'll be right back. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty. So we did have James Harp on the program. He had to go though. A little late for him.
Yeah.
Little late.
Little late, yeah.
He's got I think he's got a real job that he has to go to tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
Maybe.
So,
He said that he had to do some things for the show, too.
yeah, he had to do some things for the show and whatnot. But, yeah, so it was great having him on. That was real nice. We've been trying to get him on for a while. And, of course, we have Travis here. Still, he'll be with us. He ain't going nowhere. We're going to have a lot more to discuss on tonight's show. Possibilities is the name of episode 5 of Night Talks Radio. I know we got some great stuff coming up. I know you got more questions. It's just going to be great. I love talking to Travis.
And
some great stuff.
Who's our new Music Now guest?
Well, you're about to find out.
All right.
You're about to find out. We'll be right back on Night Talks Radio. The episode is Possibilities. Travis Guy is our guest. We'll be right back. Want more Night Talks? We have you covered. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter at Night Talks Radio for bold and truthful commentary, breaking news, show updates, program guest information, and so much more. And hey, thanks for listening.
What's going on, guys? It's Dylan here.
I'm Tanner.
And we're from Blind Choice, and we're so excited to be a part of NTR New Music Now.
We hope you guys enjoy our song, and stay tuned for the second half of Night Talks Radio with another amazing guest.
Have an amazing night, everyone. Peace.
Hey, are you alright? Tell me all your troubles and thoughts on this night. I can see it in your eyes, slowly losing strength and falling apart inside. Tell me what's your pain. Always know there's gonna be a days where it rains, and now may seem like hell, letting all your past mistakes seep in and dwell. Always know the sun in the sky will rise up. Don't let all your fears build up and corrupt. Just relive. You still feel so cold, thinking to yourself you'll always feel so alone. But I know deep below that you'll find the strength inside to let it all go. Always know the sun in the sky will rise up. Don't let all your fears build up and corrupt. Fight through all the heaviness and just live. Wash away the emptiness and just live. Just relive. Whoa, whoa, Always know the sun
You just heard NTR's New Music Now guests, Blind Choice, with their hit single, Relive. Hear great new upcoming artists right here on NTR New Music Now every weekend on Night Talks Radio. NTR New Music Now was brought to you by Square. Business everywhere.
Want to reach Night Talks Radio? That's easy. Simply dial 1-507-384-9390. Or, for first-time callers, just dial 1-507-307-4424. From somewhere in the great upper Midwest, here's Daniel Brewer and Jennifer Gregerson.
Welcome back to the program, Hour 2 of Night Talks Radio, Episode 5, Possibilities, with Travis Guy. Jennifer, are you back with us?
Yes, I am here.
Excellent, excellent. I know that we had some drop calls there during the break, but we have regained Travis. And, of course, James had to take off because of a multitude of things, including twisters and tornadoes and things of that nature. So let's hope he's doing good and can get to work tomorrow morning. He actually has a real job, so he has to really go do stuff instead of talking on the radio like this. So, Travis, my man, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, I know we had some issues there. You dropped some calls, huh?
My dog.
Uh-oh. Blame it on the dog.
Yeah.
Dog ate his homework.
My phone was laying down, and he stepped on it, and he got it.
Well, you know what? No worse for wear. You're right back at it. Nobody knew the difference, man. So we're all good. Okay, I know we left out. There's multiple things that we were talking about, but Jennifer, I believe you had something to start with.
Yes, Travis. So
Yes.
you think, well, I not say think, through your system that you have created, you use the Bible, and you believe that your true lineage is connected with Jesus Christ. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, I can barely hear you.
You believe that your true lineage may be connected to Jesus Christ through your system. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Would you like to explain how
did you get to that?
System works,
Yeah.
basically.
It started out with the word Jesus, and I've always thought the song, it's in his name, it's always been said. And when I take and add the numerical values to, like, a 10 is the J in the alphabet, a J is the number 10. And if you do that through Jesus, you go down through there and say J-E-S-U-S, it equals 10, 5, 19, 21, 19. And
Well, I'm lost already.
21 is my birthday.
No, I'm joking.
If our listeners are there and they want to grab a pen and they just write down, the alphabet and number to it as A1, B2, B3.
So essentially, it's more or less a code, like a secret code.
In a
Yeah,
way,
and it's straightforward. It really hits my birthdays, my socials, and everything, honestly. It actually, you put my mom's initials and my initials together, and it lands on his only, and it splits the word son.
That is...
Wow.
In John 3:16.
That is unique. So how does it work? Okay, I don't know if Jennifer asked you this or not. I mean, the bottom line, though, I mean, how does it work? How do you do this?
With the grace of God, I'm talking to myself on the time I'm doing abbreviation workings, and I'm doing both sides of the abbreviation. If I'm going forwards with abbreviation, I also go backwards to try to create a positive sentence or a positive statement. And sometimes it lands on negatives. And when it does that, you kind of have to admit those negatives sometimes are true, and it really brings things home. But I started out with the word Jesus, and I started out with my name, really, Travis, and I broke those numbers down and things like that. But I took the word Jesus mainly and broke it down, and I found my birthday right dead in the middle of it. And I also found the Kimberly Sue Guy. As far as my dad's name was David Guy, and my mom's name is Kim Guy. And when you take King David and you put K-I-N, the next words are G David. It's for Guy David. So it seems like it looks like Ken and then Guy David, or G David. But I have a lot of those factual findings, and when I'm doing these reads, I call them reads because sometimes they come in and I'm not able to control them in my mind. I'm doing them in my sleep sometimes. Wow. It gets to the point where it's sometimes annoying, but you guys just keep with it and stick with it. And I've actually found many facts as far as my brother's middle name is Lewis and my middle name is Clark. Wow. So I'm tying myself into creation.
Lewis and Clark.
Creation.
Wow, Lewis and Clark. That's interesting.
That alone, I didn't even think about Lewis and Clark. All right, go ahead.
Yes, and as far as like if you take the word gravity and you rearrange the words, you get TRAVI and then GY. The only thing that's missing is the S and the U and things like that. I'm only using main words in the system today, like the main words we use for space or galaxy. I'm not using words like, wood or a toilet or anything like that. I'm actually using main words that you would use in main situations today.
Now, can you tell us? So you take your mom's initials and your initials, and then you add them together, and you get 31634. Is that correct?
Well, you get 3:16:34. Immediately, I thought of John 3:16. Okay. And when you go down through there and you think of the 34th word, it lands on an S.
Wow.
The 34th letter, it lands on an S, and it's his only, and it lands on the S on his. And of course, when you do only, it starts the word son, S-O-N.
Wow.
That is absolutely amazing. I mean, it's like he.
And my dad being named David, it's really kind of hit home, and it's kind of made me think about my faith a lot more. And even with 1986, you get the words, you get A-I-H-F. And the only letter missing now that is the T for faith. Now, and that was the year of my birth. So.
And T would be Travis. T for Travis, T for faith. That's the only one missing.
Right. Understandable. Wow. So this can be done. This can be done with anybody, though. Is what I'm saying?
Can this be done with anybody's initials?
And it absolutely can. You if you can match your to any character in the Bible, it don't just have to be Jesus. It can be to anybody as far as any character in the Bible. If you wanted to use your parents, but I just use my parents and my family because both my parents are passed away. They're deceased, so I know they're not going to get hurt over it if anything's to happen. I know that, just with my lineage to my mother and father, that's the ones I mainly use. But then I put my brother in there. He is alive. His name's Adam Lewis Guy. But if you run it in last name first order, you get G-A-L, Guy Adam Lewis. And that stands for galaxy, basically. It starts the word galaxy. Wow. It's really got me to where I'm doing every main word in systems. I'm trying to find out all I can about it, and maybe I can claim the lineage of David one day.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? Real quick, I was thinking about now. God, for instance, I wonder if it comes out the same way if you speak of somebody in. Like a different way, like a different name they go by, perhaps. Like God, for instance. What if you use Yahweh, for example? I wonder if it would come out to the same. It would lead you to the same point.
You can choose to use any word if you want to. It's just whatever you kind of feel like you need to use to be able to connect yourself to any character or anything that you need.
So have you tried to use Jesus's name, Yahweh?
That's what I just asked. Yeah. Have you? Have you
Jesus'
tried?
name and what?
Huh?
Jesus' name and then what? I'm sorry.
His name is also known as Yahweh. Okay, look that up. I cannot for the life
I've never
of me.
heard of that before.
Yeah, you know,
Is
and
it
I
probably the
and I
eyes
didn't
over?
either. I didn't either for quite a long time, and I'm actually a big shortwave radio fan myself, and so I kind of tune into different random stations, and there's a lot of church theme stations and things like that that you can pull in, around 8 or 9, 10 o'clock at night. And there's these two gentlemen, and I cannot remember their name, like I said, to save my life, but they refer to God as Yahweh. And I looked it up, and that was God's original name. That's what he was called, was Yahweh. And so I believe it starts.
I didn't know that. That's
yeah,
really interesting.
it is really curious. I just from speaking to you, when we part ways tonight, I looked this stuff up. It's really interesting. Yeah, it starts with a Y. But so what I was asking is that I wonder if so you're still talking about God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you call him Yahweh,
Yeah.
will it lead you to the same conclusions?
Right.
So to speak. If that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yes, I think you would. Is it YHWH? Is that how it would be spelled?
Yeah. Roundabouts.
Okay. And actually, if you do just the regular GOD, and my last name is GUI, it almost matches just perfect.
Wow. How about that?
Wow, that is crazy. So, you were telling me that every 2,000 years, the Jews, they say something about how somebody becomes embodied with the Spirit or
I think
Christ.
he's starting a lawnmower in the background over there. By the way.
Yeah, actually, I believe that every couple thousand years, when there's an embodiment that happens, there's actually a somebody that's chosen from long ago, and it may have been predestined in numbers, or it may have been predestined for any other reasons. But I think about every 2,000 years, Jesus gets to be embodied into somebody, and he gets to be the representative of man. When Jesus and God, I think when God knows that a change needs to be made, a new teaching needs to be made for the children nowadays, for them to understand it better, because there's a lot of controversy about it being not able to be understood in the Bible. And if we can make something to guide our children better so that they be more interested in the Bible, and take from the old Bible, of course, yes, and make most of it, but put it in layman's terms for them, because I don't want my child coming home from church saying, well, the preacher told me I'm going to burn in hell, Daddy, if I, if
Right,
I don't
right.
give money to the church, and things like that. I don't want my child to be afraid of going to church.
Right.
So we need to actually kind of, do something better with our kids nowadays.
Well,
as far as putting it in layman's terms, I believe.
And just to add to that as well, God needs to come back in general.
Yeah.
In
God
the
needs
United
to come
States,
back in the
bottom
United
line.
States, needs to come back into schools. Everything.
Official buildings.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
What happened? I sit here
I
in
had
a
no
daze.
idea, but I don't think they should took God out of the schools, and at least they don't even pray in the schools anymore nowadays. And it really
they
irks
don't
me that
pray.
they don't.
They don't. And nowadays, my Lord, if you say, I think if you mention God in school now, you could face jail time. It's just insane. It's just some of the things that are happening today. I can't gather in my brain. I can't fathom it. That things like this
I
are
think
happening.
that's a lot of people's opinions, I guess, when they say, well, you can talk to God in your head, God's in your body, you're going to talk to him in your head regardless, whatever the rule says, whatever the rule means. But you need to communion sometimes. You need to be able to come together with each other and talk about, God, and talk about the issues that's at hand with your beliefs and things.
Mm-hmm.
And a school would have been the perfect place to do that. They should have had like a God class in school.
Exactly.
Now,
I fully believe, yeah.
Now, you have another interesting theory that you have actually figured out through your system that actually connects as well by using the serial number in the back of your Bible.
You're just breaking up, I'm sorry.
the serial number in the back of your Bible.
Back of your Bible.
Oh,
you use
yes.
that for your system.
Yes.
What's that all about?
I was actually, it's kind of strange where I found this Bible. It's actually when I was telling you earlier that the landlord had kicked me out as far as after 12 days.
That's
I found
never
this
happened to
Bible
us.
in a building behind that place. It's a really nice Bible. It was a very, very well took care of Bible.
Okay.
The serial number on the back of it said 297RL was the serial number.
Now, because of you, I'm
Now,
going to
if you
get up
just
and look
take-
at our Bible, by the way, to see if we have a serial number.
No, we don't. I've already
Oh,
looked.
dang it, she already did. Go ahead.
It's just a five like letter number serial number on the back. It said 297RL, and of course the 297 would be BIG. But when you break that RL down, you get 18 and 12, and then you break it down one more, you get a AHAB, and that's would stand for Big Ahab. And that really kind of irked me like that when I seen that, and I started investigating it more to try to find out if there's anything that connects terrorists through the Bible,
Right.
maybe witchcraft or anything. And I actually found when you take a flashlight and you shine it through the back of the page of the Bible, if it's got a map inside it, you're going to locate little tiny holes in the pages, and you're going to locate little, kind of like environmental noise spaces that you see in the trees and things right now and nowadays. But you're going to locate these things, and it's going to look like a witchcraft book. It's going to perceive itself to you like that. And it kind of really freaked me out and irked me that it kind of could be a way that the terrorists are getting at us through our beliefs and our vulnerability of our beliefs.
Huh. So you're saying that if you look in the back of a Bible, it doesn't have it in our Bible. I just checked. But,
No, I just actually got up and looked for more Bibles if we had them in the house.
Good News or something like that, or I'm not sure, King James. Anyway, if you look at the back of the Bible and
call my
you
mom.
have a map in the back of the Bible and you shine a light directly on that, you're going to see like
what is
dots
that
and
all about?
faces.
You put two pages together and you shine a light up through it from underneath. And me and my girlfriend had to actually sit down and we spent 2 or 3 hours looking through it and looking at it. And you see
Like a
little
regular
different
light, by the way?
Little spirits, honestly. I mean, kind of like.
Wow, like
Is
a
it
flashlight?
like a flashlight or like a UV light?
Yeah. Any kind of light. It can be any kind of light as long as the light it goes through both pages and you're able to look and see, and see really good.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I missed what you said there, but what does it reveal?
I honestly cannot tell you or explain what it is. It looks like, it looks like creatures, honestly, to me. It looks like possibly don't live by sight, live by faith, and maybe it was a trickery of the mind, and that's why it's there in the back of the Bible and things. But it really, you can look through all the maps in the back of the Bible and shine it, and it will show you little faces here, little faces there, little areas to where it looks like spirits have been trapped inside the Bible.
Perhaps they're specific to individuals. So maybe what you see, I won't see, or
Right.
Jennifer
Yeah, of
won't
course,
see what I
that
see.
may be it too. Yeah.
That. But my God, that is so interesting. I mean,
Strange.
I'm literally going to call. I'm going to call my mother after the show. What was that?
There's like little holes that when you put the light through, you're going to notice little bitty holes all the way down the pages.
Really?
And honestly, I think that's why it's called the Holy Bible. And because there's a lot of holes in your faith. Sometimes, you have to fill them holes. You have to fill them things with your faith.
Yeah.
And whatever kind of paper it's printed on. But I think that's a representation of it. You have to fill your faith with, things from those little holes. And it's kind of builds you up. When you see those, it's going to give you a test, whether you think it's just literal or you think it's your faith kind of building you on that. And it tests you. It really does test you when you find things like this.
What do you, here's a random for you. What would you say to the people out there that say that God was essentially made up, the Bible was essentially made up, and that that we have to have as a human race something to believe in, that we have a goal to achieve, or we're here for a purpose, so we don't all go crazy if we're told that no, actually we're just dust, and we literally happened because there is no meaning for us or anything like that. What would you say to those type of people?
I mean, I'll honestly say what does it matter? What could it hurt to have God in your life? There can't be no negatives from it. There can't be, you know, there's no negatives from having a godlike figure or a father in your life. So
Right.
if it can only be positive, you know, and if you can just have a little mustard seed belief, like it says in the Bible, then you're gonna go far, and you're gonna fall short, of course, but at least it's a protection. It's a protective act of this life, and it's the meaning of the I guess the heartfelt meaning of it. Now, a lot of it is very, very like brutal and very, very. There's a lot of sexual things in the Bible, and there's a lot of wars and things in the Bible.
Yeah.
But you got to take that as the aspect of back then. That's why I'm wanting to push for a renewal of the Bible nowadays, so that we can all understand it and agree with it.
Yes.
Maybe the church
A lot of
probably
people
won't
ask
like that,
Yeah.
but
A lot of people ask that, to have a Bible that is more understandable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
I mean,
because
some of the words they use
I mean, I understand it.
I
I can gather, I can gather what it means.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that cannot.
Yeah. Yeah.
when you're taking the Bible and you're reading through it, whatever part you get through, if you get to a spot and it gives you cold chills and it makes you cry and it gives you a heartfelt feeling, that's the part you need to take as your belief.
Yep.
You don't need to take it all literally. You need to take whatever parts that's going to give you that feeling and give you that love and the feeling of protection that is supposed to come from it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's like, again, individual.
Yep.
It's the individual who's reading it, the individual who's looking at these things.
It's individualized, that's what it is, but you got to
It is.
portray that individualization out toward others in order for it to affect others.
Yes,
'Cause
and
we need that security from others. We're humans. We got to have that companionship.
Yep. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have to be able to. I think a part of it is that you do have to spread. I guess you could say the word. You know what I mean? You have to spread it. It's the same thing with like the radio show, for instance. Word of mouth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Word of mouth is the best way to advertise.
Now, Travis, you do have an interesting concept on 9/11 and the flight planes numbers and everything.
I am curious about
that
this one.
correct?
I want to hear about this one.
Yes, I absolutely do. The Jews knew who the Taliban or the ISIS. They knew that they had figured this future system out. They had figured these things out and knew that the Twin Towers had contained types of records like this. They contained types of records that could possibly prove anything against them. Okay, like anything against ISIS, maybe being the Bible being fake, being this, being that. But
I believe it was Al Qaeda. Al Qaeda.
It proved in
is what it was at the
numbers
time.
that you can actually, find the embodiment of somebody,
Yeah.
and you could actually find the lineage of David and things. And they didn't like that. I think that's exactly why that they took out the Twin
Well,
Towers, because
and-
they wanted to keep the Jesus.
And then on top of the fact that the Twin Towers held just about every financial record you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
So if you were to wipe out the towers, you could essentially restart a nation, perhaps,
Yeah.
or restart something. But that's
Everybody from zero.
I'm just throwing that in there. But
He didn't hear you.
oh, I'm saying with the Twin Towers, how convenient, because the Twin Towers, that area, especially building, was it Building 3, I think, or Building 7, that had nothing to do with the impact, but magically collapsed to the ground. It was the building that held all the financial records to all the debts of major companies, all the debts to anybody. It essentially erased a lot of things. So that's one thing I look at too.
Yeah.
What's really actually spooky with me is that when the Pentagon was hit, 110 people had died, and I found some facts throughout this thing. But I was living at 110 Lester Drive when these actually embodiments took place with me. It was actually the number 110, and I found more and more Highway 27. There was also a number for 27 that matched 125. There was like 125 people that were injured in the Twin Towers. The first one that fell that just got injured and didn't die, and the specifics, that really matched up to my addresses, my names, my things like that. So it's kind of got me thinking, hey, God's intervention. There's no way it could have matched up any other way.
That's that's I feel a lot about that type of stuff as well. We were just talking about, me and Jennifer were talking about the asteroid / comet that passed in November. It was November 9th of 2011.
Yeah.
I mean, right there, okay, so you got 9/11 in there
Yeah.
right away. You got 11/11,
Yeah.
which is supposed to open up your mind,
Yep.
okay, to things that could possibly be happening. You had a
And I don't watch too much TV. I don't watch too much, get on the internet too much. I try to limit that. So if the things you know about that I might not know about, it's going to be there.
Oh, that's
of course,
right. Yeah, no.
technology and things.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I know what you're talking about when you can make the connections with numbers and things like that.
Yeah.
Like I like automatically do that with a lot of stuff now. I look and say, oh my gosh, that represents that number.
But
that number represents
see,
that.
With him, is he's doing it a little bit different.
Yeah, he's doing it differently.
Through,
Yeah.
like, the Bible.
Yeah. See, now
To
I
see it on
haven't.
his connection to Jesus Christ.
I haven't dabbled much in the Bible besides obviously trying to gain knowledge from it, and specific studies of it that I'm trying to look at. So and then the Bible code and all that type of stuff. I found some interest in for.
I don't know if it's illegal or not. What I'm trying to do, as far as the way I'm doing it, but I figure I can match up so many things to this point that I think God's okay with it with me, as far as because I'm keeping track of everything very well.
Oh yeah.
And I think that a lot of people kind of disagree. They just say leave it alone, don't mess with it no more. And I think that way sometimes too.
Yeah, I don't see it. No, there's absolutely, to me, what you're telling me so far, there's absolutely nothing that I see wrong here.
No.
I mean, to go as far as somebody saying illegal, I think that's a real long walk off that pier.
Well, that's good to hear. I mean, it really is for somebody else, because I really have avoided checking that out, honestly. I mean, just find out if there's anything wrong with it. But I feel like God allows me to do it. And I actually would go down through the pages and write one good word from each sentence to try to make, a positive statement or a positive, more like a leaf for me, sometimes during the day, so I can have a positive thing to fall back on.
Right,
Oh, wow.
exactly.
Wow. Yeah, that's really interesting. So you also said that you lived on 110, 125 Christopher Road.
Christopher,
Now,
yes, ma'am.
Christopher has Christ in it, and your girlfriend's name is Christine, which also has Christ in it.
And our address is 110, by the way.
Yeah, our address is 110. Did you know that?
So,
and our apartment is 15.
There's a lot of facts in it, I know.
it's astonishing. It's astonishing that the things that
absolutely,
you are
absolutely.
discovering.
Yeah.
And I would love to claim the Son of David for the United States, to be able to get, to be able to say, okay, the Son of Man came back through an American, and then that would be my best, greatest goal. But honestly, if all else fails, I just want my family to be recognized as a noble family.
Well,
a noble family through mathematical and alphabetical ties. And that's it. That's all I really care.
Well, number one,
Right.
mathematical is the universal language.
Yeah.
But this is something that certain people need to hear about.
Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
see, I mean,
But the
I
problem
know-
is that at this point the government is so corrupt.
Yep, that's exactly what I was going to
and,
say.
And,
Yep.
and that's the thing.
Yep.
Travis could go there with goodwill,
Yeah.
and the government's like, well, what do we have here?
Exactly. We're gonna
And whenever I
arrest
try to
you
get close
and
to
put you in a
something, they
gulag.
give me an error code 404 on my phone. They don't let me get any further when I get close to any truth or anything. So I know that they're kind of monitoring what I'm doing, but they're okay with it. But they're just kind of monitoring it and make sure I'm not going to go too far with it.
So what's your
Wow.
area code?
Wow.
I'm sorry.
What's the code, the error code that you get on your
It's
phone?
a 404. It's an error code 404, and it's also it was an ANT project that it kept redirecting me to every time I try to go to a specific website. It would always redirect me to an ANT project. And then it got to the point where my phone would freeze up or things like that, and it got to the point where I don't use the internet anyway, and I get kind of ADHD with it, and I don't want to do it no more, with the internet. So if it defers me once or twice, I'm done. I don't even look at it no more. So I think that it knows that. So unless it's something I really got to find or really got to search for and got to take it into depth, that I give it up after a few times, after it redirects me or something.
I mean,
Right.
he's
So-
telling the truth, though. I mean,
so
everything
you're-
listens.
You're
Everything
saying
hears.
that the error code that you're getting is 444.
No. 404.
404.
Oh,
I mean, a file not found. It's I've come across those multiple times.
Well, I was gonna say 444. That'd be interesting because that's our PO.
That would be her PO box number, but
That's
no, yeah.
also 7.7. She has a 444 number too, as far as 107.7 up in Tennessee, country music station.
Wow.
Well, there you
see,
go.
That's interesting. Maybe you're meant to talk to us.
I think
Yes.
see, there you
You
go.
know?
No coincidence.
Do you believe that things happen for a reason?
Oh yeah, everything happens for a reason. But what I believe in is I don't think that them reasons actually always match up with us. Sometimes things that happen for a reason it don't match with what was supposed to match up with me. Maybe because I took a wrong path, took a different direction, and a lot of things is karma. I believe in karma, and if you don't have good karma on your side, you don't do good workings and be positive things, you're not going to get no good karma bounced back at you. And that's what I kind of fully believe as far as karma. You have to have karma in your life. It's a feeling of good luck. It's a feeling of just being all around a good person. And if I don't have karma, I don't want to have nothing to do with it.
Right. What is your opinion on, let's say, if somebody has a psychic ability, like basically a psychic, or even a numerologist? Do you think that is a special ability that is actually a strong connection to God and to Jesus? Do you think he's giving you that
absolutely.
ability?
Psychic abilities.
I was actually able to. I feel like I'm telepathic in ways sometimes because I was actually running my systems one night. Like it was at a place called Arms Chapel Road up in my town, and I was actually able to draw a couple people out to the church at Arms Chapel Church at midnight one night. I was wearing only white. I was working the WOW signal, and when I was doing that, I was wearing only white, and I was doing it just right to where I actually was able to bring somebody from that I didn't even know, and they was actually coming to the Arms Chapel Church. I was trying to set up a meeting in my mind at the Arms Chapel Church, and at midnight, it worked like clockwork, and they showed right up. And ever since then, I've been kind of trying to do that, trying to bring people to me. I'm trying to do that right now with our government. I'm trying to get them to see a signal and hear a signal from me to get them out here. I'm going to limit my times calling them over the phone anymore because I'm trying to get a neural signal out to them to try to find out if I'm extremely telepathic or not. So it's really, when I got them people to come out to the church that night, it was really kind of scary too because I didn't know what they was going to do. I didn't know, they was in a white Cadillac. So it was.
Right, you didn't know it was part of the government.
Telepathic,
Right, exactly.
So, what is your opinion these days on the fact that there is going to be like a super force or something like that that's going to basically come to our house and, just cause a whole bunch of problems in general.
Super force. Like, is this something that...
what do you call like the IRS force?
Oh, the IRS. Okay. So you're asking him about
What's his
the
opinion
IRS,
on it? Yeah.
who have been trained to arrest you now if say that you have a $200 IRS debt from 1995, they technically now can come to your door and arrest you as if they were a police officer, and technically, the realm of reality, they could shoot you if you resist.
Yeah.
Is that something that you may have saw or connected to these travesties or events that might be forthcoming?
Well, I'm actually always trying to contact the authorities no matter what. Every time I go out and try to do any kind of experiments, I try to contact them first, let them know I'm on the street, let them know I'm trying to do things. That way, no matter what, in the end, I've tried to let them know, keep them in contact. And nobody's responded back. So through dimensional ways, I think that we could have it something that is there through maybe dimensions at times through telepathy, and I would love to do more experiments on it. But daydreaming is actually the main thing that I'm trying to focus on now. when I daydream, it actually feels like I'm in a different dimension. We need to do a lot more studies on daydreams, I believe, because it kind of makes me think
absolutely.
and focus. You know, it kind of makes me focus at times.
Yeah, yeah. So when people get these special gifts, or they even are born with them, do you think that they should be charging for things like this, or do you think that they should just take it as
Who should be charging who?
A gift in a way, and just help people
Psychics?
out with it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you have the ability, you should not. Let's say, what do you think about that, Trevor? Trevor?
It just depends on each individual situation. If you can prove and you can show that you're doing it for the right reasons, and you're trying to, and you're not harming nobody, and you're trying to do these things, and you're born with that ability, you should hone that ability. As long as it's not coming, it's causing negatives in nobody else's lives.
Okay. Yeah, that's not true.
I mean, I suppose, I guess, you could technically make a living off of it, if you have the
everything
ability.
I do is a volunteer investigation. I do not accept no money. Even if I was going to have a church, I wouldn't accept no money at the church. I do not do any kind of payments. I've not accepted no kind of payments throughout this whole thing. I'm not going to sell my study. It's actually going to be an autistic thing. I'm going to give it to autistic children when I'm done. And
that's awesome.
Whatever county.
That is way awesome.
So, Travis and I have spoken, and he is willing to stick around for another hour of the show if you are okay.
Hey, I'm down.
All right, yeah.
I am definitely down.
I am down too.
We still have 4 minutes still to hit a break.
Yes, and we haven't opened up the call lines yet, neither.
If I can quickly read something real quick to you guys.
Yes,
I'm not
absolutely.
just doing working. I'm actually doing an emotional relationship guide for me and my girlfriend.
Okay.
And what I do is I've come up with little games and things to play. I come up with something called the fuss bus. And me and her, whenever we're mad at each other, I'll get her on the fuss bus. I'll say, baby, let's go on the fuss bus, okay? I said, we have to go on the fuss bus. We have to talk this out. And when we get on the fuss bus, if she interrupts, if she does things like that, I give her a ticket on the fuss bus. It's good for a free rub. It's good for this. It's good for that.
Yeah,
but it makes it fun for us to be able to work out our argument. And I've actually got a lot of those as well, as far as most
like
guys.
A free night's dinner and things like that. I know what he's talking about.
I like that idea.
I know what he's talking about.
Yes.
With him, when we have our arguments and stuff, Travis, with him, when we have our arguments and stuff, I just put him in the doghouse, so.
She thinks she puts me in the doghouse.
Do you at least throw him a bone?
That doghouse has a back door. But
the best thing I can do as far as in a relationship guy is we've been together 16 years. We've been a total of 6 months apart from each other.
16?
So we've actually had a success out of this relationship, and it gets tough at times. The more you're around each other, sometimes space will bring you closer. And it's. But I actually have been writing things for her, published for her. I was actually published through Urban Wine on a published one called The Light, and I think it was really good. But I'm not going to take any kind of bribes for this or any kind of payment. It's completely voluntary investigation, because if you do take any kind of payment, it takes your spiritual conscience and it kind of downgrades it some, because you're accepting something that's not money. I hate money. I think it's the root of all evil. I hate it, and that's probably why I have none. But my soul, if my spirit's a devil's soul, hating money automatically gets him off my back there. And I'm going to let everybody know he does exist, so that it also takes his greatest weapon away.
Absolutely.
So,
I wish I had the same hatred towards money.
Right. So I know
I thought I was the only one like that. I didn't really realize anybody else was like that.
Yeah, it's like if we were able to not have money, that would be great.
Exactly.
That would be great.
And I think that's how COVID spreads the fast.
But sadly, unfortunately.
Sadly, the way the world is put together is everyone has to have money in order to do anything. Back in the olden days, even when Babylon was around, or even
a little longer than back in the day.
Back
in the day, it would be like 1999 for me.
No, I'm talking about way back.
Okay, so you're talking
way back there.
Way back.
Way back.
Okay.
Before Christ, after Christ.
Because you said Babylon, so.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyways, so with way back there, they didn't have money. They didn't have TV. They didn't have all of this stuff that was corrupting our minds and our bodies.
They had quite a natural life. I mean, they had their own problems. Don't get me wrong. There was every era in human history. There was, pardon the language, some shit.
Yes.
That went down. That wasn't cool.
No.
Not cool, guys.
No.
And but that's a part of every. We're human. We're not an AI robot that knows.
That's part of every evolution.
Humans are made to err.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that's what we are. So.
And we all, whether we want to admit it or not, we have our own biases. We have our own things that we're addicted to, whether it be technology, and I think a lot of people are way addicted to technology. If I'm addicted to a drug, at least sometimes that drug, whether it be any kind of drug, marijuana, whatever, it's a choice. It's for my emotional release. It's for my, as long as you respect the drug. But technology, when it's forced on people, it's kind of, we're having to use it, and then people are getting addicted to it. So it's kind of starting with a forceful thing that's entering and putting it in your face, and then you're having to use it, so you're getting addicted to it off of force. So I kind of, am on the fences about either one. Now, with drugs is a fine line because marijuana I think is okay with me. It does help emotional.
I've never really
emotional.
said anything bad about marijuana.
Right.
Like I told you before,
It's natural anyway. It comes from
it's
the
natural,
earth
whatever.
anyway,
I just don't. I don't do it anymore. But go ahead, Travis.
Yeah. But it's a lot of people sensitive to it. As far as there's a lot of addicts to just the mental medicines. If you're taking medicines, you're taking drugs. In my eyes, if you're taking mental medicines that your doctor gives you, you're still having to take drugs. Now you can't go later and say I don't take no drugs. I take what my doctor gives me. Well, you're still taking drugs. And a lot of those are very, very not regulated enough. Like as far as Prozac, things like that. They need to do more studies on those and keep those to where we need to get to the root of people's problems instead of just throwing meds at them.
Yeah, especially the long-term anxiety medications. You just brought it up, Prozac, for example.
Yeah.
It does way more damage than even a short-term depression medication or anxiety medication.
Yeah.
But it does seem of late more so than ever. Drugs are being thrown out, different random drugs, and what everybody doesn't know, whether you have a good heart, good-heartedness, you think that you're doing everything right, you're following your doctor's instructions, the pharmaceutical label, you're still doing drugs, and it's still affecting you, affecting your brain, affecting your nervous system, affecting all these things. And this was a plan from the get-go.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there are many, many people who have that vice and cannot get away from it, and it wasn't their fault to begin with.
And see, a lot of people do experiments on drugs. A lot of people get they'll do. Say methamphetamine. If we're doing an experiment on drugs, as long as you're doing an experiment and you're keeping track of when it does, how it's making you feel, why you're doing it, and the heightened state of awareness of it, what it's doing to your body. And I think if you're scientifically studying it and you're licensed to do it, I think that you should be allowed to. I think we should put a rule in place. As long as you don't get out of your home doing it and things like that, we could put stipulations in there that allows people to scientifically research more drugs and do things that because if we can get a higher state of awareness with certain types of drugs, then we may be able to reach our consciousness better. And as far as ADHD people,
I was going to bring that up.
Help them.
I was going to bring that up. You mentioned ADHD, drugs like Adderall, Concerta, things like that.
Yeah.
They are saying, more and more studies, that these are smart drugs. Do you believe in that?
Not really smart, not unless you're using it smart. You have to be... you said smart drugs, right?
That is correct. They're calling them smart drugs. It
depends on if you're a smart person. You have to be a smart person before you start that drug. The drug's not smart. it's the person that's using it that's smart. I really don't think. And you have to be responsible with things. And sometimes people just use drugs in order to heighten their awareness, but kind of ease their emotional pain. You know, just to kind of get out of that feeling of depression and things like that.
Yeah, without question.
Yeah.
That happens quite a bit. I mean, yeah, that's
Exactly.
I mean, it's happened since COVID, for example. Started. My gosh, the prescriptions that have been prescribed for benzos alone, like Xanax and things like that, have skyrocketed. I mean, to tremendous numbers. And again, I'm not blaming the people. I'm not upset with them. I'm not angry with them. But, these doctors now, it's funny because certain medications, like, Xanax, for example, we just spoke about Xanax. We'll throw 1 billion Xanax at you, but if you have severe pain in your back, you better go take a Tylenol, pal. So it's like, it's so disorganized. It's so, doctors are scared. Go ahead, Travis.
The opioid epidemic took the country by storm. It really did. And a lot of people used different drugs to get off of opioids because they were really hard to come off of. Speaking from an opioid, I've had 8 surgeries on my legs. I know from experience.
Oh, yeah.
So those were really hard to get off of. They hurt your body a lot worse than they helped it. So when the country took those away and really cracked down on that, people didn't know what to do. They were hurting all the time, and they would turn to different drugs. They'd turn to marijuana.
That's correct.
And then they would turn, to these other things. And one drug might not be as good as the other, It just depends on your opinion about it.
Exactly. Yeah. I want to chime in with that you just brought that up. I struggled myself many moons ago with opioids, okay? It was a bad relationship that I got involved with, and I had, a bad experience for a couple years. I had the ability, though, to will myself off the opioid. And, I went through the withdrawals. I went through the puking. I went through the, pardon what I say, but pissing brown water out of my ass stage. I didn't want to talk to another human being. If you came near me, you're probably going to die. I hated it. But it took a week. And what people don't understand is if you go through the withdrawals and just do it, that drug is eliminated from your body. Chemically, your brain does not want it, nor does your body parts want it anymore. And you're free of that drug. You have no desire anymore to take that drug. But too many people are afraid of the withdrawal. They're afraid of the comfort that it gives them. There's multiple reasons, but if they just go through the withdrawals, they would be done with it in most cases.
I think Suboxone did a good job of taking away most of those opioid addictions, and a lot of people are on Suboxone nowadays.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. It's still just as hard to withdraw to come off of as the pain pill as the opioid, if not worse. So I don't. And it's more of a heightened state of awareness type drug too. It gives you energy. It kind of keeps that sickness away from you. It don't give you really a buzz. It just makes you have your energy back and gives you the care of the, it don't have the symptoms as the withdrawals.
I mean, I think we may be brothers or something, but I was prescribed Suboxone as well back in the day. For that purpose. To me, though, this was before the massive lawsuits that took place against the maker of Suboxone, because they were essentially they were bold-faced lying about what Suboxone actually did. So instead of having people with opioid problems, they would give them Suboxone, and now they are addicted to Suboxone because Suboxone would give you that mimic opioid feeling and up to 12 hours. And so now people were going after that. But now the drug has been changed to where it does what it's supposed to. they were sued into making it do what it is supposed to do now. So I can't, you know, I don't know, you know, I obviously don't take Suboxone now. This was a long time ago, but yeah, when I took Suboxone, I was like, oh, holy shit! This is better than any other opioid I've ever had in my life.
Yep.
You know, so
I think if our country takes and forces drugs in or out, either way, it's gonna make people more mad. It's gonna make them more ill about things. They're gonna say they need them, they need these things. But really, at that emotional level, if you can kind of sit back, because the painkillers I don't take no more, absolutely, and I'm glad I don't. I haven't took one in a long time.
Right.
And my body don't hurt.
Very
me,
admirable.
You know, and
Very
but I
admirable.
do get depressed. I get depressed at times, and it's really from the past addiction of them, because my legs will hurt, and because I've had so many surgeries, and you know, and when the opioids came out, it really did a lot. But I think the doctors got blamed for it, you know, because people would go in and try.
Oh, they were
to get
scared
them purposely, you know.
Yep.
The doctors were absolutely scared.
Yeah.
After the 1980s and into the 90s, when the drug problem, you know, which mainly was created by the illegal drug users and drug dealers out there, and the rules were changed. Because in the 80s, you used to be able to go to the hospital or your doctor, and you weren't allowed to leave until you were fully satisfied that your pain was absolutely taken care of, or you were just satisfied in general with the visit. Then it went to, you know, put a Band-Aid on it because I'm not getting sued. You know, if
you can still go to doctors nowadays, to hospitals, and it says you have the right to be out of pain. And honestly, you know, that's true to a certain extent. But you have to expect a certain amount of pain in life. You can't, you know, you have to be straight up and say, okay, I'm going to hurt a certain amount. And you know, completely pain free is not going to happen with everybody, with nobody, really, honestly.
Right. It's the same. You know, it's the same thing with, like, for example, the COVID shot. You know, whether you believe the COVID shot works or it doesn't work. You know, if you're taking what they claim is in the shot, I call it a shot for a reason. I don't call it vaccine, but that's a whole other story. Listen to our other shows; you'll find out why. But if you're taking that many vaccines, as they like to call it, or booster shots, you are destroying your immune system.
Yes.
So you could walk outside.
That's what I've heard. I haven't done the studies, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah, what happens with these shots is that it's making your body think that you have a horrible disease in you, so it sends your immune system to attack these what it thinks is diseases. Okay, so it leaves you vulnerable. It weakens your immune system. So what the goal here is that now if you go outside after you've gotten all your shots and you're told that, wow, you know, you're going to be perfectly fine, and somebody comes walking by that has a cough, you catch a cough, and the next day you're dead because you have no natural immune system. It's the same.
Right.
It's the same thing, so to speak, with the drugs. You know, so it's, you know, it is a cavalcade of just disorganization and just out of controlness, if that's a word.
And the amount of people on the earth nowadays is causing more diseases, of course. You know, the more they're going to be kind of new diseases come out, new diseases, you know, go away. They're going to manipulate each other's diseases. We're going to try to do that as well, to try to combat those diseases, of course. Mm-hmm. But I think that's going to be one pitfall of man, is we're going to destroy ourselves when we're trying to create something good to cure a disease. It's going to actually boost the disease, and it's going to actually cause something horrible.
Well, the interesting thing about that is that you brought that up, is that as a human race, we are at the stage where we have two options in terms of universal civilization movement. There's an actual name for the list or category, and I cannot remember it right now to save my life. But we are a level 0 out of 3. Okay, so level 0 means that we still get energy by man-made sources, fossil fuels, and a little bit of sunlight maybe, and things like that. Like level 1 civilization can maybe travel to a distant planet back and forth. Level 2 can maybe travel out of the galaxy. And then a level 3 can essentially go anywhere they want in the universe and even harness the energy of the sun wholly and completely and never have to worry about fuel again. So we are at a turning point where we could go to a civilization 1, a level 1 from level 0, but it has not been decided yet if we are going to destroy ourselves or we're going to come together to work to finally move on to another planet and be spacefaring. This is supposedly happens to many other civilizations out there in the universe, and if they don't get past level 0, they end up going extinct. At least that's the theory. And they say we're in that moment right now. And that moment could be years and years and years, but we are in that moment. What is going to happen to us is the key factor. So
I've actually been doing some work with light, as far as the speed of light hitting you, like in your eyes and things. When you close your eyes, when you close your eyes and you cut that light off, when it's coming, you're going to have a visual view of a split-second light. That light's going to slow down. It's slowing down in your view. Especially if you blink real fast and cut that light off, you're going to have you can focus on it. You can hold that light. It slows that light down, and you can actually view that light. Now, if we can view that light long enough to slow it down and attach data or attach our DNA, and then let it ride the light across the galaxy, I think that's the way it's going to have to, kind of be. Because when you close your eyes, the speed of light comes in your eyes, you have to slow it down. It slows down regardless because you're cutting it off. You're cutting it off from the view of your pupils. And I think that we need to have some kind of study to do with that, because when I do it, it cuts it off, and I can hold that light for 4 to 5 minutes. I can hold that view of that light. And it's in a circle pattern, of course, but I can hold that light in the center of my view.
Yeah.
And it gets bright. It stays bright, really, really bright. And I can literally just stare at it, And
I know exactly
really,
what you
really
mean.
neat.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're using the power of your mind to hold
What he's doing is
And
energy source.
Like I can look at the light, for example, here the
Frequency.
in-home studio. I'm looking at that light right now. I shut my eyes. I could see that light perfectly. We're going on 5, 6, 7 seconds now. I can see all around it. I can see it and everything,
Yeah.
And then it goes away.
Yeah, and if you can hold on to that signature and you can apply a thought tag that's going to replicate our DNA and our DNA makeup and put it on that light and release that light up into your aurora, you're going to send that light up out of into your data in your brain.
Yeah.
And it's possibly a good study to follow, and I've been trying to do that, and a lot of things have really prospered out of that. I've actually, and that may be the problem with why I'm seeing invisibility sometimes and luminescence.
Right, absolutely.
Wow.
Travis, man, we are way past our break, so we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll return with you, and we'll talk a little bit more, probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Can we keep you for that long? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
All right, perfect. We're going to put you on hold again, if you accidentally lose contact, just call on back. We'll pick you up, but you won't. We'll put you back on mute. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Just yeah. So don't you go anywhere. All right. You stay.
We'll get you a cup of coffee.
Okay. You get your coffee. You do that, and we'll be right back with you. Okay, pal.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. So looks like we're going to take our final break here. I know we're at the 2 hour and 15-minute mark already.
Wow.
My goodness.
Another 3-hour show. It's going to be
Another 3-hour show.
Wow.
We're gonna have to we're gonna have to move to 3 hours. I told you.
I think so.
I told you a
yeah.
couple of weeks ago.
So far, before we go on break and stuff like that, how do you think things are going here with Travis?
I think they're going wonderful. There's a lot of knowledge there. There's a lot of things to be learned, a lot of things to study, a lot of things to look at, a lot of things to investigate.
Yes, and there's a lot more to come.
And there is a lot more. Well, there's 30 minutes more to come,
30
unfortunately.
minutes more, and we are going to open up the phone lines as soon as we come back.
We open up the phone lines. We'll get that number out there. If you have questions for Travis, and we may just have to have Travis back during the week and maybe NTR Daily or something like that.
Yes.
To get additional questions answered and things of that nature. But yeah, so we're gonna take another quick break here, and when we come back. We will have more with Travis Guy, his experiences, what he's been through, things he's learned, and things he's gonna teach us, hopefully. Okay, folks? So, you are listening to Night Talks Radio, Episode 5, Possibilities, with Travis Guy. We'll be right back. Stay with us. This is Night Talks Radio. Want more Night Talks? We have you covered. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter at Night Talks Radio for bold and truthful commentary, breaking news, show updates, program guest information, and so much more. And hey, thanks for listening.
Problems. I would never thought that you could be causing these problems. It smells so bright with eyes like these diamonds. Caution. I know I should have known. Right now you're not alone. I don't wanna get in trouble. See where you stand. I don't wanna see you crumble. To recall what we meant. All the words you never said. All the questions in my head. 'Cause you're trouble, yeah.
Want to reach Night Talks Radio? That's easy. Simply dial 1-507-384-9390. Or for first-time callers, just dial 1-507-307-4424. From somewhere in the great upper Midwest, here's Daniel Brewer and Jennifer Gregerson.
Everyone says that I should get going, start running. But how am I supposed to run when I'm falling? I don't wanna get in trouble.
Hello, Night Talks Nation. And there's our buddy Travis. But welcome back to the show, everybody. We are in, unfortunately, our final 30 minutes. I can't believe that it blew by again. It looks like I'm going to have to upgrade. I think I'm going to have to. I'm a broadcaster, and I thought that would be enough. I said, "There's no way in heck that I'm gonna be using 3 hours each and every broadcast," and now 3 hours is not even nowhere close. So I'm going to have to upgrade to Anchorman, which will cost me slightly under $2,000 probably. But I think we're good for now. We still got 30 minutes, and you know what, Travis? If we don't get through what we want to get through, we can get you on one of the NTR Daily shows, and we can continue discussion about what we want to talk about.
I'd be glad.
I mean, it's and it's a much more laid back format. We'll send you information on that, and we'll go from there. But
I would love to read some of what feels like scriptures. It's actually written in scripture form that I think I'm receiving from Jesus. And I would love to read just one or two of those from you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Kind of other people can judge on whether or not they think that I'm kind of receiving anything. But
Okay.
One of them goes like this. It goes, if thou hast called and understanding rebukes thee of trying, thou simple understanding, she shall be placed upon high of all glory and of thine care. He that makes the effort to seek out the glory and to follow the path to show his worth and take all the blame for an evil upon himself, and ask for the gift of sacrifices to the be of man that shall sustain what say thee. Thanks be to thee of a comforting to sustain a primary man, for the ease of punishing of thine vividness. Do thou also want God to be in the form within thine heart and mind, so to appease those who be of evil, and place blame of own self and objectives to the question of.
Wow. Did
Wow.
you write that?
no.
Yes.
You did write that.
Yes.
Oh,
I have a lot of those scriptures. They actually are the main point of my study. I love them the best because I feel like Jesus actually talking to me.
Wow. So,
I
And
literally.
I have a lot of those.
so you wrote that kind of in a way.
I didn't even realize that. I
as
know
it
he
was
said that to me, but I
coming
didn't even
in-
realize it.
Coming in through Jesus?
Like, did you just write
Yeah,
that?
it's actually it comes kind of from daydreams. I'll be daydreaming a little bit, and then I kind of will just go with the flow, and I'll just start writing, and whatever comes out sometimes, and
That's
it's,
like my motto.
It really
Go
is.
with the flow.
I'm sorry.
That's literally my motto. Go with the flow.
Right.
Mine is, if
And
you
it's just-
believe, you will achieve.
Well, there you go. Okay.
And I feel like that sometimes that he's actually talking to me, and that's kind of written like the Bible for me is. But I've got also some stuff for kids nowadays in order to make it more understandable what I'm receiving. So I'm trying to make sure there's something there for everybody, no matter whether it be across international borders, across these borders, old, young, gay, happy, sad. I'm trying to put something in this project for everybody.
Right.
Just to kind of make myself feel better about that. I've tried to make a good spirit for everybody, and I'm not trying to offend nobody by no means.
Well, I commend you for that. I mean, good job. That's awesome.
It's if everybody listening out there, okay, and obviously I can't see numbers now. I can't see numbers for the broadcast. It usually takes 48 hours. For me to get information on anything about the show that we had. Okay, but I can tell you right now, and it's a feeling that I have that this is going to skyrocket to the top 3. I'll put it that way, because there is a yearning for people that are, and again, mind my language. That's why I put explicit on this one. Mind my language, but there are a lot of fucking people that want to hear this. You know what I mean? What he is saying, there's people out there that wish they could do what he's doing right now. I said that in the beginning, and I'll say it again. He could be motivating so many people right now that he doesn't have a clue.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm glad to do it for him. And I'm not going to try to offend nobody, but if I feel like that I'm receiving something that needs to be offended in a way, I have to do it. I mean, it's the Spirit calling me sometimes. And, of course, the Bible's got some bad things in it. Some this study also has a few bad things in it. But, it's not all positive. Of course, that's your conscience. You write based on the individual time. If me and my girlfriend get in an argument, I'm going to go in here and write something about anger at the time. It's kind of like real-time studying.
Yeah, it's the uniqueness of it all, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And you don't hear it on an everyday basis.
It's how do you say?
I'm trying to force
refreshing.
Knowledge,
Refreshing.
So the knowledge that you use and get through your system is.
Do you receive lottery numbers?
Well, hold on.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's very timely, isn't it?
It's very, very out of this world, because there's actually alien and cosmic attachments to it as well. I feel like literally that Jesus had a microbial contact within him. Mm-hmm. He was able to contact his microbial DNA. Because see, back in the day, during the Roman days, they made people they didn't like live next to the waste dumps. They made them live next to the waste areas, of course. And they could have caught microbial DNA, microbial infections, and that could have been what Jesus had. And I absolutely believe it. But it was a good guide. It's good guidance for him. Because he applied it well, he applied it right, and he applied it as a saving grace.
Yes, amen for that. Yes. Now, when you do your research on this and stuff, does it take a lot of time to do?
Certain parts of it does. Usually, I'm pretty fast at writing. Usually, I'll get what's off my chest and what I need to write down pretty quick. Because if I don't, my mind's going to something else really fast. And sometimes, even in the middle of the night, I'll get up, I had a thought or something, and I have to jump up and write it down. So it's a lot of constant back and forth to the pad, back and forth to the paper and pencils. But it really is, it gets to you sometimes. You sometimes just want to throw the paper away and just want to burn it all at times, but I know I can't do that.
Wow, yeah, I want to do that to multiple things that I read.
Wow. Yeah, so it's kind of time consuming. I can kind of see that. It's all you devote.
Yeah, it's time consuming, but he can do it boom.
Yeah, but
You know
when
what I
he's
mean?
talking about how it interrupts his sleep and everything.
Oh,
like that,
oh,
I mean,
right,
he's
yeah.
devoted his whole entire life
I mean, I
to
understand
it.
that. Okay, I understand that part being a burden, I suppose. But
Yeah.
And I would love to got something for you guys and send it to you guys. If you could give me your address when we get off the phone and things, to be able
Absolutely.
to just thank you and maybe give you a scripture top read if you didn't mind.
Oh,
And,
yes,
absolutely.
that would be awesome.
I mean, without question.
So,
Without question.
what is your feeling right now on being on the show? Are you happy to be on the show?
How would you rate? This is a survey after the phone call.
Do you feel strong? Do you feel more scared?
No, honestly.
How do you feel?
It has been the best. Like it's kept me busy like up till now, and of course I'm getting tired. It's middle of the night, but
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
of
you
course,
know,
I would
we're a
rate
late
you
night
guys a 9 out of
show.
10 every day. Because honestly, because nobody's perfect, and no show's perfect. You know, I'm gonna have feelings sometimes, and you're gonna have feelings. A 9 out of 10 every time, though. Because you guys do a great job as far as asking questions and getting to the basic issues. And
Wow, I really
putting it out
appreciate
there
that.
What people want to hear and what they expect to hear as far as radio.
I try to, I didn't just hop into this like a year and a half ago.
No,
you know,
no, it's
this has
so
always been sort of my dream in the back of my head,
Yeah,
but
I
I
mean, when
never
you went to
knew how
school
to
for
get
mass
in.
communications,
Well, I
so
did. Yeah, I did, but it wasn't the communications that you thought it was.
No.
It was like fixing railroad signal lights. But anyway,
I mean, it teaches
what
you
I'm trying to say is that
electronics.
this is like I one day a long time ago. There was a moment where I was like I probably it was like I wish there was a moment where I was doing exactly this, talking to a guy named Travis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like doing exactly what I'm doing right now is how I wanted things to be.
Yeah.
And do you have brothers? Do you have family? I mean,
I am an only child, believe it or not. Jennifer, on the other hand, has 46
that's
family
kinda
members.
Cool. I mean, did you wish you had a brother and sisters?
Well, I guess depending on what age you would ask that question you're asking me now, no, not now.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't be like no, but
Right.
I'm 42 years old. It's I'm used to the ball game, so to speak. But Jennifer,
Yeah, I'm not far behind you, so.
Jennifer, on the other hand,
So.
she has.
One of the best things about doing a study like this is I couldn't draw a lick of nothing before this all started happening. I
Really?
could not draw a bit, and I can draw now. I can draw like honestly pretty good, and more than you would expect to have been able to draw through a conscious investigation. But my drawing ability, just due to practice too as well, but I have been able to draw almost as well as. Do you know what a small art is as far as little tiny good images and tiny art?
Absolutely.
It's really awesome that I'm gaining all these talents and things. I just hope I don't misuse them in the future.
Wow. That's interesting. So it almost seems
So
like when
multi-talented.
you-
Like that's the first thing I think.
Right, multi-talented, yeah. But it's almost like with the awakening of connecting with Jesus and your connection.
Do not
through
confuse
your,
awakening with woke.
No,
Okay.
through your system and everything like that you have. That Jesus almost enlightened you now to have the ability and the talent to draw and to write and everything like that. Is that what you would think?
And bless my girlfriend's heart, she has to deal with it with me a lot. Like she'll sometimes I'll neglect her, and I want to go ahead and apologize to her for that.
Mm-hmm.
But she I'll neglect her, and I'll put the study first. Now I don't mean to, but sometimes when
Right,
something comes to my
right.
mind, I have to kind of go with it. You know what I mean, and kind of
Yeah.
put my faith first right now. But she's been such a trooper. She's her name's Christina, and she just does such a great job taking care of me and taking care of our dog.
You
We
know,
don't have no children together, but she has a few of her own.
since you brought that up, real quick, I mean, it's the same situation here as far as that goes. I don't show Jennifer as much as I should be because of what you're speaking about, the devotion to research her knowledge or gaining things and talking about things she probably doesn't want to hear about, but she listens to them and things of that nature. I understand. You know, sometimes I have to wait till she goes to sleep, you know, because I know sometimes she doesn't want to hear about it, but the more that she's partaking, you know, with me here as co-host on Night Talks Radio, the more and more she's getting a little giddy about it. So, you know, hey, whatever.
But I guess the best thing that I could say that I kind of come up with is that she really she's struggling with her faith too as well, and of course Eve was made from the rib of Adam, and so I believe that I instilled a rub into belief system in her. I'll rub her if she'll sit down and she'll go through the Bible with me and we'll discuss it. So a rub into belief is what I'm coming up with her. As far as I asked her if she would be my rib and let me rub her into believing. And it's not been took off yet, but I'm hoping it will.
Yeah.
Right.
So does she understand kind of what your system is all about?
Yeah, like, I mean, does she really understand, though? Like, she might not be as interested, but does she understand?
Not so much. And I keep telling her, if I can get you to believe and understand, then I can get anybody to believe and understand. And that's a challenge. If I can get, even if our relationship never works out, I still want her to believe in Jesus and believe in the faith as far as finding her own way and her own pattern in life. And she don't understand where it's coming from me. She didn't really experience the things that I've experienced as far as the dreams and things. But I tried to include her throughout the whole thing. And she really has been a real trooper. And she's an amazing woman.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
So do you believe in soulmates?
I do. If you can have within that first year, you're going to recognize a soulmate within that first year of being together.
Oh, yeah.
Usually, and if it's sometimes within 6 months. I don't believe in love at first sight. I really don't. You can be attracted to somebody, and it's the first step into a relationship, is you have to be attracted to somebody. It's about attraction. And if you're not attracted to somebody, you're not going to even approach them, you know. So I really do believe in soulmates, but I don't believe in love at first sight. I believe you can grow to know each other over the course of a year. And if you don't know about the course of a year, then obviously you're not soulmates if you don't already realize it.
I mean, I believe in it's like a form at love at first sight, but I keep it in the back of my head until the proper time. You know, like for me and Jennifer, for example, like there was something different about her, you know, from previous girlfriends and things like that. So I guess you could call it love at first sight, but it you know, you like you said, you need to know somebody and learn somebody and this and that. But it really for me was from the get go. I guess you could say that it was like at first sight.
I guess I should try to take that as you know, sometimes if you are attracted to them very well, attracted to a woman, then you're gonna, no matter what, you're gonna try to get to know her, no matter what she's like. And so if love at first sight can be, I guess, achieved if you know
in certain forms. Yeah.
So what do you think of how, like, if you're with a person for a long amount of time, so let's say 3 years, okay? That's pretty long, I think. Okay, if you're with a person for 3 years and you start feeling kind of in certain spots, like when that person is aching in, like, their right shoulder, you start feeling an aching in your right shoulder. What do you think that is? Do you think it's almost like sympathy pains, or do you think it's more of a cosmic connection?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Of course, I believe it's a positive connection for the most part. You have to kind of break each other down. You're going to break each other down, and you're going to find out what the pet peeves are and what they're not. And you're going to have to learn those things, you know what I mean? You're going to have to take those things and you're going to have to apply them to each other. If I don't know you by the last, you know, by 3 years, by the end of 3 years, and I don't know what you like, what you don't like, what your family's like, what mine's like, if we don't apply those things in the correct way with each other and not cause, you know, anger issues all the time, because a lot of relationships end with anger.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest things is anger.
Communications is one of the problem too.
And I think that positivity, the man always, of course, has to be positive to the woman. As far as I'm old-fashioned, I guess I could say. I mean, I like to be a positive person for her. I think she's kind of invalid sometimes, and she's weaker than I am. But I like that about her. It makes us attracted to each other. We even do this thing called baby talk, where if she knows that she wants something, if I know she wants something at Belk's, and she knows I'd usually say no, she'll come up and say, "Peas, baby, peas, baby."
Oh,
And
yeah.
she knows it's attractive, you know, and it's little things like that you can do to really get along and find out who each other is.
Yeah, exactly. So, did
Boy,
you
did
know...
we did we take the
we're getting
switch
down
to
there.
Albuquerque.
So, did you know that when you are with someone for a long period of time, it's almost like you become
It's
one
the
in
Dr.
a
Brewer
way.
and Jennifer
Like,
Gregory's show.
If you're if you're laying on the couch right next to your significant other,
Love
that
lines are open right now.
Other, let's say Daniel's laying on the couch and I'm laying on his chest. My head is laying on his chest. Do you know that you will have the same? Your heartbeat will beat at the same time. You'll have the same rhythm and everything, almost like your
Beat the
heart.
rhythm.
Almost like your heart is
We
one.
actually did
That's
things like that.
interesting.
She'd lay on my heartbeat, and she'd, you know, because she's shorter than I am, so she only comes up to my chest.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
her ear comes right up to my heart, and she's always laying on it saying, "Baby, I hear your heart." And I'm saying, "Well, I don't hear it.
Yeah.
Is it there?
Like,
You
I
know,
don't
am
know
I,
your
am
mind,
I still
yeah.
a good person?" You know,
Yeah,
but
I
we
had-
have to do little pet peeve things. But sometimes we do angry things just to keep it interesting. You know, we'll.
That's a bit, wow.
Oh,
Yeah, what was that
come around,
fucking argument
well,
about?
make
We
them
were
mad,
keeping it
and you
interesting.
got to keep it interesting like
Yeah.
that at times.
Well, yeah, why did you throw her out the window? Well, we keep it interesting.
Well, before we go, I want to touch base on
before we
two
go,
important things here.
I think he came here for a reason.
And it's probably going to be
Don't look at me.
what do you call
I don't
it?
host this show.
The intriguing part where it's going to get you want to come back for the next part of the show.
I think he already wants to do that.
No, I'm talking about the audience. It's going to
Oh,
go
the audience?
grab them.
I'm gonna tell you tomorrow afternoon. I will tell you which direction that is going, and I think
Anyway,
that is growing
Didn't
like
stop me think about it.
so
it's like the crops and children of the crop, just super high, and, you know.
So, in your system, you said that you have the knowledge that a possible attack, like another terrorist attack, is going to
Oh,
happen.
yeah, that's what I wanted to-
Is that correct?
I'm having trouble hearing you. I'm
What
sorry.
was it? I think she asked what one of the visions was a terrorist attack
When
upcoming.
Is that going to happen? You have knowledge of that?
With the I
Terrorist.
can't say that now.
Terrorist, yes.
Tourette's or terror?
Terrorist.
You know what? It's terror.
The terror.
The terror.
Terror, yeah. Because there's a Tourette thing. that
If the
happens
terror
that
is
and
going
it
to-
will tell me sometimes. But I really think that we should monitor these the things in the Bible, because in the next 10, 15, 20 years, if overseas was to find out that I have a factual spirit and mathematical for sure, and the Jews was mad about it, they're going to be able to, they're going to try their best to attack America. They're going to try to do the things that they're going to, you know, that they're going to want the spirit to stay with, you know, the Jews. As far as if the Antichrist has a child, they're going to want it to be a Jew, you know, of course.
Mhm.
But and if I can prove things and claim the son of David, I'm sure they're going to be mad. So I just want to put it out there that I hope that don't cause America no problems, but it's possible.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because we were just talking about how when the Biden administration pulled out of Afghanistan about a year ago,
Yeah.
you know, he virtually gave full control back to the Taliban and terrorists and all that stuff. So when you mentioned when I heard from Jennifer that you had mentioned terrorist attack, I mean, that's the first thing I thought of. And then they essentially shook hands with Russia and China, saying, "Oh yeah, we'll
come on board.
We'll make sure that we hit that fleet, or we hit that regiment for you."
Because Russia, I think, is saying that you can do whatever you want to America.
Do whatever you want to kind of help us out. Wink, wink. Do you need some oil? Something along those lines.
That's exactly why I need to have them come out here and kind of classify what I have and at least check it out. But they really the Americans kind of neglected me in a way. I don't feel bad about it. I'm not grudge worthy about it.
Right.
But I do keep trying to contact them through my neurologist. I'm done trying to call them on the phone. Because, I mean, I've called the DOD. I've called these people. I've sent emails. But if I can get contact through them with neurologists, then I know overseas can do it as well. So they can probably hack us in our minds in some way. But I'm wanting them to come out here and classify what I have and maybe at least see if I could possibly claim the Son of David. I would want to claim it for my father because, honestly, and I'm talking about God, I'm talking about Jesus, because I think it's what I'm supposed to do. I'm emotionally, I can handle this as far as the Son of David role. And I'm not a terrorist. I'm not no bad guy. If you had a Son of David come back as the Antichrist, what would you choose? Somebody hell-bent on terror, or would you choose somebody that's under control, that you can work with, that you can do things with and build something with,
Right. So, last question here. What about World War III? Do you think that is around the corner?
I'm having that in my head every day, World War III, girl.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It's really getting to where, like, after 3 years of doing this, it's getting to where I keep headaches a lot. And it's wearing down my body. But I'm gonna struggle. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm not gonna give up. I've put everything in my life except my relationship and this. So this is kind of a goal for me as far as to continue it throughout the 5-year process. Now, 3 to 5 is the best you can have to come up with a good conscious study and give it to the world. So I'm going to try to keep and not give up on it. So I hope so. I've been praying every day that I don't fall through, and I keep doing it for Jesus.
Yeah. Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen. Do you have any visions of World War III?
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Not so far, not yet.
Oh no.
Okay.
A lot of times, a lot of things are happening in my dreams, but a lot of it's voices. I'm hearing a lot of voices in the middle of the night. I'm doing these decodes and things. I'm doing these abbreviations. And disclaimer says, so be warned that when this kind of attempt is, it does cause depression, anxiety. It causes things like that. Mm-hmm. It causes you to be, talking to yourself constantly, and a lot of people are not ready for it. A lot of people can't handle it. And they just kind of be warned, a disclaimer of sorts, just tell you it does cause issues.
Again, last thing on World War III here. Again, though, I'm still sticking with my guidance. I think it's around the corner. I think it's going to be quicker than people think. I think Russia and China have been prepared. I think they're actually tag teaming. I think China is going to attempt to take Taiwan. At the same time, Russia is going to attempt to take the Baltics. I think that World War III, the sparking point is going to be the NATO-U.S. alliance defending the northern and eastern border of Poland from Russia advancing anymore. I think you will see the spark there via a dogfight with our F-22s and their Su whatever have you. So I think that will be the spark.
And in the meantime, Russia comes from the other end and tries to take Alaska.
And then, yes, with Russia's aspirations coming out and straight up saying that, Russians there, I'm sorry, not Russia, Alaska is theirs and they are going to come for it, that's also not a very good sign.
No.
So,
not anymore, because the Son of David's here. So, but if the government would apply this system as far as try to pinpoint everything that they're going to do, any possibility, any random changes, anything into this system, it's going to give them a good breakdown of the percentage of what's going to happen. I do believe that, and if they would just come talk to me, I would absolutely love to give it to them. I'd love to let them have it. I mean, if I have to get locked up, I'll get locked up for it. But, it's just, if they apply the system, I do think they could predict what Russia and anybody's going to do.
Right.
So then you basically, to try and find your lineage, you took just the abbreviations of your initials basically, and the initials of your mother to start out with, and you went from there.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, awesome,
And
awesome.
that's when I started finding stuff in John 3:16, and I'm not trying to do the future. I'm not trying to put the future out in numbers. I know what I can do when I put them out in numbers, so I'm trying to lean back from that because I don't want to know my future. A lot of people don't want to know their future because if you do, you know, it's going to be boring. I don't want to know when I'm going to die, so I'm kind of leaving that alone for now.
Yeah, leave some excitement.
Wow, amazing system you have.
Yeah, unfortunately, by the way there, Travis, we're out of time. We are out of time. I mean,
I'd love to be on the show. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Absolutely. We're going to be in touch, obviously, right
Yes.
after this, and we'll get you on NTR Daily at the very least, or schedule another show for Night Talks Radio. Either
Shoot me
way,
your address over there, and I'll send you some mail.
perfect,
Oh, yes,
perfect.
yes,
That
we'll
sounds
go ahead
good.
and
We'll
do
do that once the show ends tonight, early tomorrow morning. So, absolutely wonderful time. The knowledge that was gained is amazing, and there's a lot of things that I'm going to be researching myself
Oh,
because
yes.
of you alone. So,
Yep.
Absolutely great. I think everybody should.
Yes.
Excellent,
Yes. Thank you
excellent.
so much. You've given us a lot of insight tonight.
Absolutely, and we will be in touch. That's for sure.
All right.
Thank you,
Have a good night.
Travis.
Thank you, guys.
All
Have a
right,
good
have a
night.
good one. Be safe, my friend.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So, like we always do, what did you think about Travis Guy? If he was French Canadian, it would be Travis Guy.
Anyways,
Travis Guy.
it was very interesting.
Pretty amazing.
I'm kind of speechless on it. You know, I really enjoy how he came down with his system. I can't wait to actually try and discover some things about myself, maybe.
Right, absolutely. Same here. The bottom line is, my last word is, he reminds me, he has the skill set, talent, and intelligent mind of Joe Chase. That's what it is.
Joe Chase or Joe Osteen?
Joe Chase.
Joe Chase,
Joe
yes.
Osteen is what he sounds like to me.
Oh, okay. Yes.
But he literally reminds me of.
Well,
Joe
maybe
Chase
those
as
two
well, so.
should get together and be on a show together with us. That would be awesome.
And yes, and then it would be just a nuclear explosion of ratings. So, but okay, say bye-bye to the masses.
Oh, goodbye, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your night.
Alrighty, well, that was Jennifer saying goodbye, so I'm going to say my goodbyes as well. We'll be back next weekend for sure. Saturday and Sunday, Joe Chase is going to return with his final show, The Final Word, on Saturday evening. And, of course, Tuesday through Thursday, NTR Daily, and all that good stuff. So we look forward to that. All right, we will talk to you soon. We got some more music coming up for you. So you stay right there. Don't go just yet.
may seem out of your control, but tomorrow to be something that'll help you grow. So no, it's just a common cycle in life. You're gonna get through this and be better by night. Loss is hard, it'll definitely take some time, but good days are on the way. Let your own light shine.
Slowly goes down. Now you're gone. No trace left behind. Feeling lost without a goodbye. Now you're gone. No trace left behind. Feeling lost without a goodbye. Now you're
So, for NTR, special guest Travis Dwayne Guy, our amazing co-host Jennifer Gregerson, special sit-in co-host James Hart from the Cosmic Horizons podcast. Tonight's NTR New Music Now guests, Blind Choice, Spreaker.com, the voice of NTR Kevin Robinson, Square, Business Everywhere, and the late great Art Bell, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. And finally for me, Daniel Brewer, saying until the next Night Talks Radio, stay safe and remember, they are listening. So long, everybody.